Jordan and Cozy.
First time for everything.
We're live. Can you pull up the stream so we can see?
Yeah.
We can see that no one's watching or chatting.
There we go.
What's up, everybody? Okay.
Hey.
According to Colin Samir's advice for podcasters, the Lost Boys podcast has to keep our intros shorter, so we're gonna move right into this. That's what I've gleaned.
And
from
what is
learning.
the first topic that we're
Cozy
talking
boy.
about?
Okay.
This is okay. So I'm here with obviously Cozy Boy,
Okay.
Mariah from Punks and Kisses,
Powrice from Powrice
All
and
sound effects.
not that kind of show.
On hand sound effects.
it's
And
not
then
a
the other
sitcom.
man who gets his own microphone, Morgoth, Beats with a Z.
sound effects. Clap sound effects.
Is me. And I'm your other host, Cozy Boy. And this is Lost Boys Podcast, episode 11.
11.
Big 1-1.
1-1. Make a wish.
Damn, we should have had
Make a
11
wish.
on the 11th episode.
That would have been
Yeah.
cool.
Ooh.
Damn. It's okay. He was on the 10th. He's just one off.
He was. We had 11 on the 10th.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
He's mad.
Matter. Run
He's,
it.
he's one off.
Okay. You want to start this?
Anyway.
Sure, I can start. So yeah, I'm really excited. We have two really cool guests here. Morgoth, who makes music, producer, super talented producer, also super talented guitarist. I'm sure I'm missing other things, but also in Winds of Plague.
Yeah.
But you got to
which is
explain
super
yourself,
sick.
too.
Wait, still?
Yeah. The band's more for fun, but yeah, we still do stuff.
Fuck yeah.
And then
Wait. Who's the other cool guest? Which one?
Exactly.
You have to pick one.
So
Who's
then,
the cool guest?
I guess I said two cool guests.
Yeah, there's
Me.
one. We
Pal's
get a-
kind of
Who's the other one?
Pal's kind of a default
be you.
cool
Rice.
guest, you know.
Powrice.
Why? She's been on the stream once, and it was yesterday.
She's like an extension of one of our hosts.
I'm just like I'm like an evil twin to Hair Jordan.
Oh, I get the mic.
Yeah.
She's like the yin yang.
I'm the blue-haired version of Hair Jordan, so I'm here again. Sorry about that.
Because we're both obnoxious as fuck. That's why.
Wow. Anyway, let's get a little serious in here.
So we have Punks and Kisses, which is an amazing clothing brand,
Wait, fuck,
alternative
I'm
clothing
not wearing a
brand.
shirt. My bad.
Hello, put
Yeah,
the shirt on.
get
or
some
else
of the
you're
stuff
fired.
on. Get some of the stuff on.
Punks and Kisses representative. Hello, I'm
Hey.
Mariah.
She's the creative of it all.
But I think
Sick
that
shit only.
this would be a really cool place to start here. So we're in your house.
Yes,
so
yes.
thank you for
Yeah.
allowing us to host here. I think it was
Yeah, no
closer for
problem.
you. I
Yeah.
live in downtown.
Yeah, better than downtown, that's for sure.
Oh well, don't talk too much shit. Don't talk too much shit, because my spot in downtown.
Okay, first of all,
pretty
downtown,
fire.
let's be
As
for
much shit
real.
as you can think
Oh,
Let's be for fucking real.
my spot in downtown, fire.
Wait, bleep, let's be for effing bleep
Way
real.
fire.
We have some beef in the
I
building
don't-
right now.
I don't like
I got
downtown
parking.
either.
Yeah,
you
I
got
don't either.
parking. Let's take that.
Hollywood,
parking.
Hollywood gang rise
I got a
up.
high rise.
Okay.
But you know what?
Got a crazy
He has
view.
let's be
I got
fair.
a pool.
Let's be
Do
fair.
you have
Pause.
an emo clothing brand?
Shout out to the
I
crab
do
core
actually.
cancer
I have my
signs.
own clothing brand. Yes.
But
Nah,
to be-
Hollywood's cool though.
To be fair, Cozy has
live
like
in
the
Hollywood.
best. You have the best place in downtown that I've ever been to. I refuse
sick,
to go to
yeah.
downtown unless I'm going to your
Yeah.
place because
an
honestly,
exception.
yeah, when I go there, it feels different. Or Zara, but honestly, she's not legitimately in downtown. She's kind of like on the
Ooh,
outskirts.
sneak this.
But anyway,
Damn.
sneak
She's
this.
not legitimately.
No, but it's calm,
in
it's quiet, it's
downtown.
cool, and
Yeah.
it's not hectic, and I don't feel like I'm like in that like nasty part of like the scene and down. It's just a
Yeah.
nice vibe.
Yeah.
So that's why
It's a
I do
good
like
spot.
it. You're an
It's a good
exception.
spot.
so-
It's not giving Skid Row.
No, it is not.
Oh, definitely not.
It is not. Yeah.
Anyways, this is a pop-up. You had a very successful pop-up last month.
Thank
But
you,
this
thank
is not it. This is the Morgoth episode.
Yes.
I'm breaking...
Not emo episode?
No.
It's goth.
We had a meeting. Literally, Cozy's manager flew here from another country to tell me to stop giving away the green tagged microphone to our guests.
Oh shit.
'Cause I'm supposed to be a co-host.
We'll share one. You don't get to take
I'm going to
it
do it
anymore.
anyway. Cozy, ask Morgoth what he's been doing the last couple of months because I know he's been doing a lot of cool shit because this is the Morgoth episode. He's our special guest. You guys talk. You guys just met. You guys just met for the first time today.
We did.
Yeah, let's see some
Y'all
socializing
talk.
and
Go for it.
communication.
Go for it.
Well, so one thing I was gonna ask, and I'm kind of gonna like talk to the camera and like talk
Yeah,
to you.
no,
you know,
I
I'm
get
kind of
it.
in an awkward
I get it.
position
I get
here.
it. I get it.
But yeah, so you just came from a session. You know what I mean? That you're pretty excited about.
Yeah.
So
I
let's
worked with
let's
this-
just hear like the day in the life today. You know, you get up, whatever it is, go to the stew.
Okay.
Give us a little day in the life, and then maybe give us some things that you've been
Yeah.
working on.
Okay, so I literally just sleep until the absolute length of time that I can until I have to wake up
Sleep
Shit.
forever.
and roll out of bed and then like
Mhm.
go into my living room and record someone and
I
make a
sleep and then I
song.
make a song and then I sleep.
and then I go
Awesome.
to the gym and then back to sleep.
Hey, there we go. We're hitting the gym though. That's good. I feel like that's something we haven't talked enough about on this podcast is health.
Yeah.
You know, people be
Guys,
overlooking
guys.
people be overlooking the health. So
Yeah.
that's dope, dude. You gotta hit the gym.
So today I worked with this dude Alejandro Ariana and or his other artist name is Scary Pool Party,
Mm-hmm.
and he got second place in American Idol in 2019, and he's like pretty widely regarded as like the best contestant they've ever had.
Really?
'Cause he,
wow.
like-
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, he like if you watch his audition tape and stuff, he like floors them, sort of
Wow,
thing.
okay.
And he's insane at guitar, so he like plays guitar in like every one of his things. And anyways, we're doing like a
You said he
heavy,
plays piano too.
yeah, like Chopin piano, like,
Multi-instrumentalist.
and he sings. He has a John Mayer-esque quality to his,
Chopin.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous,
The
but
goats, John
Did
Mayer.
someone say Chopin?
but yeah,
Oh,
so
I
we're making like a heavy EP.
Stop.
I'm sorry, you said you're what?
Oh, we're just making like a heavy
Chopin.
EP together, so it's kind of cool.
And heavy, what does heavy mean to you? Is that
Like,
is that metal?
low-
Is that a strand of metal? Like what is that?
Yeah, like
Define.
low tuned guitars.
Okay, we're talking B, like drop B. what
Like
are we talking?
drop-
we talking about like
E.
gent material?
Oh, we're
Yeah,
talking
I mean,
drop
we
E.
haven't really
Wow.
we haven't really gented much. Like just because the guitar is low doesn't mean it's gent,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Okay.
Say a letter B, C sharp, C. What
No,
is it?
E, like an octave below. So that's
E sharp.
yeah.
Are we talking like
drop
a 7
E,
string? Are
8.
we using 7-string guitar? 8-string
Yeah,
guitars.
8.
Wow. So I'm
Hey,
also a
hey,
guitarist.
hey, that
but
doesn't
I've never
exist.
graduated the
That's
6
not
string.
real.
like
That's not real, bro.
Deftones
What
uses
the
like
fuck?
8s.
Yeah, facts.
Made
facts.
up. Made up.
Made up
That's not real.
an 8
That's
string.
cool.
It is real.
So
man.
what are we playing? Are we playing like a PRS? Are we playing like a Schecter?
I play for ESP.
Okay, cool.
So
So,
ESP
that's a
hooks me up.
sponsor.
Yeah, ESP
Awesome.
hooks me up with guitars. So shout out ESP.
Sick.
Thank you for the guitars.
I had an ESP LTD back in the day.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Who didn't? Right?
exactly.
Fire. That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah, so I've been doing that and then working with a bunch of other people.
What is the last thing you worked on?
I'm doing Shavo from System of a Down's solo album right
Oh,
now.
that's sick.
That's
That's crazy.
and it sounds like a more moshy system
Yeah.
is the vibe of it.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for like about a year. We're getting pretty close to being done.
Wow.
Because
How many tracks are we talking?
we have like 15 or so
Wow,
right now.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Just
That's a lot.
just a 15
That's
track
crazy.
EP, no big deal.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say that's a full length album
What
right
the
there.
fuck?
That's insane.
What the
So are you-
15 track
are you-
EP, bro?
Are you like defining it as an album or
yeah,
like?
yeah, it's an album. Like it's
Oh no, it's
And
an
he's
EP,
doing
right?
vocals. He's doing vocals.
no.
single?
So we have a vocalist who I can't talk
Really?
about yet.
Okay. Wow.
Top
Bro.
secret,
Wait,
top
can you not
secret.
talk because it's like a vocalist or is it
Yeah,
just somebody that like they don't want to be known?
partially that, partially like also he's in System of a Down, so
Someone
like
that's gonna make people excited.
they're like one of the biggest metal bands ever. So
Yeah.
I kind of sometimes got to be careful with like
Yeah.
what I use because
What
every
you
time.
say.
Don't say, guys.
Not allowed to say who it is.
That's
because,
crazy,
though.
because they're in System of a Down. So I
Yeah, there's like an announce. Well, like Surge releases solo albums, and
Yeah.
so does Darren has Scars on Broadway. So
Mhm.
with Shavo, I was like, let's just make an album that like kids wish System
Yeah.
of a Down would
Dude.
make.
the
That's
fact
super sick.
Cozy impresses me the more and more we fucking like vibe with our homies.
Clap.
Why
Like
is
the
that?
mutuals are people who I'm like, y'all never met. You should have met.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you know everything he's talking about. I'm like, this is your first time meeting.
But sometimes when things
Crazy.
are like right in plain
You-
sight, it's kind of just like sometimes it doesn't
Well, I
always
also
like
feel
you
like-
talked
straight up.
about the System of
align.
a Down like not album. I guess we'll call it that. Like
Yeah.
on New Year's. Because that was
Yeah,
the last time
I
I
told you
saw
about
you.
it. Yeah, I told you. I've
Oh,
been
it-
working on it for almost a year now.
That's
so.
crazy.
It's on my hard drive because you went on my fucking webcam and Mike and we talked shit.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, people were like, why you guys filming? I was like, I don't know. We're just like, it's fun. I
that
make
was
content.
funny.
But the fact that Cozy knows every reference you're making, I'm
Oh,
like,
dude, of course.
bro.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
one
knows
thing I was gonna
everything.
ask you is like, like System of a Down. Obviously, they're just like legendary band. Is that crazy for you to like work with them? Were you inspired by them before?
Yeah,
Or like, you kind of just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I live in a glitch in the matrix that I get to work with
Preach.
all the people I looked up with
Yeah.
too. and somehow that happens, and I don't question it, and I just kind of do the best I can. So
That's crazy.
but yeah, I absolutely loved System of a Down when I was a kid. Like Toxicity changed my life.
Yeah.
Like
Crazy.
the
Crazy.
first song I learned how to play on, one of the first songs I learned how to play on guitar was like Aerials. So
Damn.
you know.
Yeah. That's
Wherever
crazy.
you end up is where you're meant to be. So honestly,
Which I feel like now
Yeah.
I have to say the thing that I've been holding back as I said. But so you play guitar. You said that you were like learning System of Down songs, whatever, right? Like something that like inspired you. And you're in Winds of Plague. So I used to listen to Winds of Plague. I had an actual physical copy. Oh yeah, I had a physical copy of Decimate the Weak.
Oh hell yeah,
For sure.
So
And I learned.
They're all
and
just
I learned
fanboys of each
Angels
other at this
Debauchery.
point.
Oh,
That was
really?
my favorite song. Was
Really?
Angels of Debauchery.
We still play that.
It all connects.
Legendary. Yeah. And I couldn't play the whole thing all the way through. So I don't know if that was something you wrote or
No,
whatever
no.
it
So
was.
I joined the band in like late 2013.
Okay.
So
got it.
Decimated
What
already
the
been
fuck?
out.
It had
So
already
I-
been
That was a
out.
long ass
Got
time.
it.
ago.
That's
Yeah.
like 10 years ago.
Yeah, something. And
Yes.
I was a
Yes.
fan.
And
Too.
I have
I
to
was a
admit,
fan of
I didn't know
Decimate.
I didn't know all the band members like that either.
No, that's
but
okay.
Yeah.
Johnny, the singer, is like really the original member.
The OG.
And then
Got
our drummer Art joined Lamb of God.
I'm sharing with her.
You know,
Okay. You're
not allowed
which
to
is
share that.
amazing
Facts.
for him.
Lamb of God's
But-
also fire.
Yeah, I grew up with Winds of Plague on my wall too. Like I was a
That's
fan
crazy.
before.
Okay,
I was a
cool.
fan before I joined.
That's sick. That's sick. But yeah, so I learned Angels of Debauchery, but I couldn't play it all the way through. So
That's great. I could.
But anyways, that's
I'll brush you up. I'll brush you.
I was like, I gotta say this on the
I'll
podcast to
play.
get the live reaction.
We'll have to play it together. I'll
I
show
would
you the.
love to watch you play that song. That
Oh.
would like blow my mind.
I gotta
Literally.
get my arpeggios back
Two
up to speed.
producers,
So that-
one cup.
Oh,
Some of that
man.
stuff is.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's fast.
You don't
have
have
a-
to use that when you make
I
pop
have a
music.
question.
Oh, she's got
Go.
a question. The owner of PUNKX.
What is your favorite song to play on Guitar Hero or Rock Band?
That's
Ooh.
not what you
Hole
just
in the
said.
Earth by
That is a good one.
Deftones.
Oh. And what game was that on? Like specifically, like 3, 2, like of.
I
I
guess it
played
would be
Rock Band.
3. I guess PS3. Yeah, Rock Band was sick too. It was on Guitar.
It was on
Hero.
Guitar. Okay,
Guitar
it was on
Hero.
Guitar Hero. But which Guitar Hero? It was on
The comments
2.
prove that
2.
right or
Guitar
wrong.
Hero 2.
Guitar
okay.
Hero 2 is fire.
2 or 3. 2 or 3.
That was a good one.
I'm a child, so like I really only experienced Rock Band. Like Rock Band 3 was like my shit. I think that's the
Rock
one where
Band's
like I
cool.
really discovered like
Yeah.
Panic at the Disco, like
Yeah.
9 in the Afternoon. Like I sang
love
that
9 in
shit.
the Afternoon,
Like I
though.
sang my
Yeah.
heart out to that shit. I was like 9 in the I was like 9 years old. I was like, I'm so emo.
I was
Before
never
my
good at
brain's
it.
even fully like developed. But
I loved Guitar Hero, and I could never really get very good at it.
Really?
I would
Yeah.
get
It's
That's
frustrated.
hard
funny.
as fuck.
I
I'm
would
not
get
gonna lie, it's hard
frustrated
as fuck.
That's
and
why I
learn
sang,
the
'cause you
songs
could-
on actual guitar because
Yeah.
I would get frustrated because I couldn't do it well on Guitar Hero.
It is not the same thing to play like guitar
I see
and
you,
like
Queen
play
Blood. I
a
see
video
you.
game that is like
Shout out.
trying to copy like the way
I was
a
like, I
guitar
can do
works.
this.
It's
Why can't I
completely
do it on
different,
Guitar
so-
Hero?
I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard.
It is really
I
hard.
tried to play recently. Me and Pao went
Yeah.
for like her birthday to
Like a Dave and
like
Buster's.
It was-
yeah, like a Dave and Buster's kind of situation, and it was
yeah.
like
I think it was at like round
Yeah.
1 or something. But
Yeah.
but now that
It
we're
was-
like,
I couldn't
No.
even explain it to
Oh
you.
wait, you've known Pal for 3
It was
years.
embarrassing.
You ever been to one of Pal's birthdays? 'Cause I haven't.
I had invited him one time, but we're not going to talk about that on podcast. But
Okay, never mind.
Anyway. Moving on.
Fans exclusive.
But Rock Band and Guitar Hero, great games. Now that we're like adults and we have like acrylic nails and like all this stupid shit, it's
not the
hard.
same.
You have 9
Like,
acrylic
damn.
nails that look
Like,
very
I,
good.
I have
Yeah.
10. Okay, none of
They
them
match
fell
your
off.
hair.
10 of them, and 9 of them
do.
look really
They
good.
do and I do it myself. If you need your nails done, I got you. But anyway,
You do them yourself.
thing-
I could tell.
One thing I think was really cool
Heard
about
that joke
Guitar
before.
Hero is I think it inspired a lot of people to like learn guitar, play guitar.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
did.
But one thing I thought was cool about Guitar Hero, at least for me, was it actually exposed me to really good music.
True.
Yeah.
Because it was basically like
True.
kind of this curated playlist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
It's
like
an
it was just songs
introduction.
that, yeah, like
Yeah.
you just might not have heard those or grown up or whatever. Like I didn't actually grow up with like music in my house.
I learned a
okay.
lot of music from video games.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in general, like,
Like
the Tony
Tony
Hawk's
Pro-
Pro.
like,
yeah, Skate 3,
That's the
Skate 3.
Skate 3. Yeah, that's the
my God.
universal.
Like-
That's the
Ace
universal
of
one.
Spades?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's how I
crazy.
learned about Radiohead
Goldfinger.
too.
Yeah.
Radiohead was on Rock Band.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Tony Hawk's Pro
Last
Skater
time
though.
I
That
saw
had a
you,
great
Goldfinger
soundtrack.
was there.
Yeah.
Did y'all talk? Y'all probably.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
I mean, honestly, it's like the era. Like, if you played Skate 3, you played Tony Hawk, like,
Yeah.
you were listening to Linkin Park. Like, that's just like the vibe.
Yep.
And
yep.
like, I went from playing that as like I don't even know. I'm not that old. So like, I played it when I was probably like 7, 8. But I was playing video games early. And then like, honestly, I had like an iPhone 3 and I was listening to like Pandora radio and I'd type in Linkin Park and then everything else came up. So that's like how you just like found everything then.
Yeah.
Like now everything is just like in front of you. But back then it was like CDs or Pandora radio or Skate 3 or Tony Hawk.
Tap Tap
Yeah.
Revolution.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
Rock Band or Guitar Hero. And it was like a wholesome way to find music even if you didn't have music in your house.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
there was a way to find it.
Yep.
Which is crazy because now it's easy and it was,
I luckily
I
did
don't know.
have music in my house too,
did?
so
That's cool.
I kind
You
of
did?
got it. Yeah, I kind of got a little perfect storm going.
That's awesome. Man.
Wait. What's the perfect storm?
Like my parents listen to dope shit, and
What's dope shit?
Dude, I feel like there's
You
such
listen to Metallica or what?
There's such a like difference is maybe not the right way to put it, but like when your parents like know cool shit, it like really can help shape your music taste.
Yeah.
Like I have these large gaps of music because like my parents didn't listen to music.
Why do you think I'm so
So
cool?
it
My
was
fucking
like-
mom is the
I just
shit.
like didn't like get certain things that like everybody would know. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
yeah, my parents are like they played in bands like when I was a
Oh,
kid.
that's sick.
So
What's
my dad plays guitar,
Really? Yeah.
and they were like kind of like blues, classic rock bands.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
like love that stuff, like
Yeah.
Sabbath and like Hendrix
yeah.
and like
Facts. Facts.
But it's like those bands are like the root of it all. Now,
yeah,
we're-
that's really good to know.
We're the
Yeah.
we're the evolved versions, or you know, if you're a
Yeah.
producer now or you're a band now, like you're the evolved version of those things, and like you really have
Yeah.
to like
That's a good
100%.
point.
respect
I want to
that.
know your opinion on that. Do you think that like the both of you guys, do you think that you're the evolved version of like people who produce for those bands
Yeah.
that your parents like loved?
I think that like stuff changes like throughout time, you know, but it's definitely good to know where like what you do comes from, or it's that, or you just ignore it completely. Like there's validation in both of that.
Yeah.
But for me, like knowing like Black Sabbath's music and like, you know, Black Flag and the Ramones and like all where like, you know, alternative music came from, which is like metal and punk essentially. Like having like a really like not just like listening to the music, but like knowing like how to play these songs and like what progression, like, you know, just like the,
Yeah, the
It's
mindset
almost like
behind
traits
it.
of the
chord
genre.
shapes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's the traits of the
there's
genre, you
different
know?
types of chord shapes that you find throughout like different like eras
Yeah.
of like music, and you're just like, oh, like this shape was used like
Yeah.
often.
And then
know
you
what I mean?
find too, like the more like stuff you learn from other kinds of music, the more like music has in common.
Yeah.
It's really just like sounds, you know, like
Yeah.
put and like rhythm put together. Like
Yeah.
the like tones of stuff is what makes genres, you know? So
Yeah, and once you have an understanding of that, like you take pieces from everything
Yeah,
and then
that's a
you
good one.
just combine it into one thing. Yeah, and that's what the new sound is things like that, and learning from like
Yeah.
every single band you listened to growing up and whether they were different or not. Like you take pieces of each of those things, and that's what creates what it is now.
yeah,
Like
that's how you find something unique,
Right.
you know, is like by like throwing just ripping off a bunch of things
Mm-hmm.
together. Like
Yeah.
if you want to like make one thing and you just like take 3 artists who are like your contemporaries with that thing, you're just going to sound like generic. But if
Yeah.
you take like a bunch of different things from a bunch of different
like
places,
50 things from 50 different bands,
Yeah,
and they're
then
like
you'll find
microscopic
something
details,
more
and you
unique.
you make your own thing, and the people are like, wow, that's crazy, it's
Yeah.
unique.
So
Never heard that before.
Yeah, for me, I grew up on a lot of like, because I'm from Chicago, I grew up on a lot of like Kanye West music. And so, because he was like the person of our,
Yeah.
you know, our city.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
like the
that-
representative
Yeah.
of our city. So I was into a lot of like my mom, she only ever played R&B music. And like she was my mom, she was really into like
That's dope.
old school hip hop
Yeah.
music. Like old,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
90s,
No, yeah.
like
Yeah,
90s,
yeah.
80s
Yeah.
hip hop,
Like De La
the
Soul,
OG,
stuff like that.
Yeah. OG hip hop. So that's like kind of like what I've always been into. And then like she bought me my very first like rock band game from Christmas.
same.
And that was like my first introduction to like rock music. And I was like, you know what? This is kind of like my vibe.
You're like, this is kind of different from Kanye West. I think I'm kind of into this.
From what, you know, I'm used to. And, you know, my brother, he was a WWE like brother. He always watched WWE. Like fucking Monday night SmackDown all the time. So
Nah,
I was
I
like,
Nah.
I didn't think so. But
like
I wasn't up on the
Linkin
wave.
Park, everything.
Yeah, it's like that
Yeah.
WWE
That sort of thing.
skater vibe
So,
is
yeah, like
the Linkin
Bam
Park
Margera,
and
sort of
like
like sort of jackass vibe.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I've always kind of been into both sides. 'Cause
No, totally.
I always
I
listen
love
to my
hip hop
brother.
too. Like
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
you know, I produce
Yeah.
for
And
like
they kind
Juice.
of cross roads. Same thing with Linkin
The-
Park. They cross
Yeah.
roads between like
The biggest
hip-hop
stuff I
and
produced
rock.
is rap.
yeah.
Like
That's crazy.
Juice, like
Who?
Juice World, and
Oh, you produced for
Like-
Juice. Which song?
I did Won't Let Go.
Damn.
It's
okay.
on Death Race for Love.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Crazy.
Me and my friend Perps did it.
Crazy.
Nice.
Dude,
Yeah.
So
Who else have you produced for? In the hip-hop?
dude. Okay, let me save him from doing the LA thing of name dropping. Trust. He's produced for everybody great. He's a
Awesome.
legend. Like Grammy nominated shit. Like, but you can name drop if you want.
Yeah.
This is-
Okay. So
He's like actually Taylor Swift,
yeah,
I
wish.
feel like-
oh my
okay.
god, I wish.
Okay,
Justin
okay.
Bieber.
I feel like I
wish.
don't do this very often, but I have to
I
take the mic to be
wish.
like, I introduce people who've never met before, and I'm like, wait, y'all are legends in your own right, and I'm like, this is it. Like, yeah, no, because we talked about this like half a
Yeah.
year ago, and I was like, hey, how does it feel to be Grammy nominated for like album of the
Yeah.
year? You know what I mean? It
That
was
was
like,
sick.
no, dude. A
So
lot. You produced
that
for
was
everybody.
MGK. Yeah. So that was for MGK.
Well, that one
That's
last
crazy.
time I saw you.
Yeah.
But dude, okay.
So I did Sid and Nancy on
You-
MGK's last album
Yeah,
with
that's
you know
crazy.
getting to work with Travis is
yeah.
amazing.
Travis Barker.
And then like Scar Lord, Little Xan, Jake Paul.
Bro fell off.
But wait.
hold
fell
on,
off.
hold on.
Yeah.
But we gotta talk about
Suicide
Star-Lord.
Silence?
We gotta
Yeah.
start.
I didn't know that.
He's a
That's the
legend,
one
bro.
thing
Like,
I didn't know about you.
Scar Lord?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm a
I've
YouTuber
done, like-
who used to
Oh,
be a
yeah.
YouTuber and now I'm a
Yes.
musician.
So I've done like 5 songs.
I'm a
with
YouTuber
him.
who used to
What
be a
the fuck?
YouTuber.
Yeah.
But bro, I feel like with Scar-Lord, he obviously is at like a great place right now in his career. But I would actually argue he's like underrated.
Underrated for sure.
Underrated because he doesn't get the shine he like deserves for his like branding, aesthetic, sound, and like vocal talent.
Yeah.
Which I feel like
It was
You know what I'm
really
saying?
cool getting to work with because like we definitely.
I'd love to
I don't
hear
want to
how
say
he was to work with if
yeah,
that's something you
I don't want to
open
say
to
like
talk
I
about.
I was definitely part of like the first wave of crops of people producing trap metal.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I produced a song with Omen 13 like a long time ago.
That's
Yeah.
why everybody
I know
respects you
Omen.
though, because it's
Yeah.
like you're that guy.
Well, that's not
You know.
why I respect you.
Not why I didn't. I didn't say that's why I didn't. I mean, I didn't say that's why I heard Jordan respects you, but I said that's why a lot of people respect you.
He has his own reasons why I respect him.
Right.
Good to know that. Thanks for
But
that.
yeah, you're welcome.
Keep going.
Some insider information from Powrice. No, I'm kidding.
But-
aficionado.
Yeah, I'm a producer too, by the way.
You should be. Yeah, but Scar is great. Like, so yeah, it's really cool because it's fun getting to work on something when it was like kind of in its infancy,
Yeah.
you know? And
yeah, you
like,
shape it.
Yeah, exactly. Where we were like trying to make like a new form of metal.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because like a lot of people who
Fuck! I have so many fucking questions.
shoot him, go.
He literally was a YouTuber.
Yeah,
He was homies with all my homies. Because
Maddie.
hi, I'm here, Jordan. I used to be a YouTuber. I'm
Wait,
not
who are you?
anymore. I'm a musician who screams and sings and does trap shit.
Who's streaming on YouTube?
Yeah, so like Scarlord is like my parallel universe, like one. All my friends were like, "Oh yeah, we used to do YouTube shit," and then everyone was like, "What happened?" He deleted his shit and did music, and now you're like,
Well, yeah,
dude,
I mean,
I've hung with you so much. I never knew you produced 5 of his fucking songs.
yeah.
Damn,
So let me
that's
think.
a lot.
I did How They
This is-
Judge. I did Nobody Gives a Fuck If You Die. Robot Slut. There's a couple more I'm blanking on.
Folded.
But, yeah, a couple more I'm blanking
Folded.
on.
That's it, bro. I mean,
Fake fan.
Do you
I
mind?
can't even remember.
Do you
the
mind
one.
if we ask what he was like to work with? Because he's kind of enigmatic.
So I
you can-
actually haven't even worked with him in person.
Oh, really?
That's my question.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
So was it
Oh.
all stems or was it just you passing
yeah.
back
So it
beats?
was me giving like fully fledged like riff and
Yeah.
like like ideas to
Wait.
Muppy who produces all the stuff. So all the stuff I did with him was with Muppy.
What do you
Got
mean?
it.
What do you mean you gave?
So you
riffs?
sent the guitars and the riffs and
Right.
then put drums
Yeah,
and stuff around it.
So I sent
and
like a
structured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sent loops.
Yeah. I'm like, but like more like full fledged like ideas,
Right,
you know,
you
and then they
sent it
like
recorded.
added some like more stuff to it and like played with it. But yeah, like basically.
That's sick.
And then they
I
built
love
off of that.
Even as as
Okay.
an artist and a producer, but as an artist for sure, like I love getting like the instrumental
Yeah.
with no drums.
That's
because
always
it gives
my
you a lot of freedom, bro.
That's always what I tell guitar players who
Yeah.
like ask me like, "What should I do?" Blah blah. Blah. I'm just like, dude, so many
Just
producers
start
don't.
making loops, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, so many producers don't
They
know
don't
how to
want
play
your
drums,
drums.
especially in hip hop. All they want to do is make drums.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's all they care
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
just make guitar riffs and send
Yeah.
them to other people
That's
to.
what you did.
And even better,
Yeah.
make good guitar riffs.
Yeah.
I feel
Pull
like
some good
it's
shit.
probably better to
Multiple
build
layers
off of
Scarlord.
a guitar riff than it is drums, right?
Um,
Is what?
Yeah, I guess it really just it could go either way.
Okay, I
It really
see.
can.
All
I
right.
have a question. Would it it kind of relates to Little P.
Mm.
What what would you think about Little Peep's music? Like, do you think it's
Uh,
more like on the alternative side, or do you think it's
Yeah.
like, more like
Yeah.
Well-
rap alternative, or what would you consider?
I mean, emo
Or
rap.
Same thing with like Little Uzi, because Little Uzi kind of did. A
We
collab
were
with,
talking about that
Yeah.
earlier.
Bring the Horizon recently.
Yeah.
So what's your
So-
perspective on that?
Interpretation.
Yeah. Also, like, you know, I was definitely very early to producing for like Bones and like a lot of the emo rap
Mhm.
like
Shout out
scene.
Bones.
You
I
know.
love
Yeah,
Bones.
Team
Yeah.
Sesh.
So like,
Yeah.
emo rap was definitely kind of half an peep. I think there's like a spectrum with like emo rap where it's like on the far side is more rap and on the other side it's more like, you know, rock alternative. Peep, I definitely feel like was probably a little more on the rock alternative, like way before other people were. And it's kind of
But he was also
it's kind of
pulling-
hindsight, you know.
He was
sort of
also
thing.
pulling from Team Sesh early on, right? Like I feel like
Yeah,
a lot of his
Bones-
stuff was like air,
Bones
like Lil Peep
Invent-
took air and
influence for
just
sure.
ran.
Bones
For
invented emo rap and trap metal.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if not
100%.
invented, he was the first person to do it.
Yeah.
That
To
like
integrate
mattered.
That sound.
So
Yeah.
That
I'm
like
not-
mattered, you know.
I'm not too familiar with Bones or Lil Peep. I'm sorry, but who came first? Would you say Bones?
Bones
Oh,
came.
Bones.
Bones
Okay.
came first,
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Bones,
Yeah.
Should I listen to
100%.
shit that's from fucking 2003?
Bones did a lot of sounds.
Yeah.
Peep just like Peep took like kind of what he was doing with like his more emo side and just like ran with it and like developed it, you know, and like made it his whole
People
thing.
was, people was
He
working
integrated
Same with
like
Uzi.
their
sound.
producers.
Same with
Okay.
Uzi.
Yeah.
Uzi doesn't get enough credit as being one of the first emo rappers either.
True.
Like
Yeah.
he really
True.
doesn't. He
Yeah,
really
we were
doesn't
talking
Yeah.
about it earlier.
I
Yeah.
think it's like one of those things where people know, but it's almost like forgotten in history where he like, I mean, obviously he's bigger than he's probably ever been at the moment. And I adore him. But
Yeah.
in like 2014 or so, he was like talking about how like Haley Williams was his favorite singer. And that was
Yeah.
way
Right.
before it
That's
was
very
cool
true.
to
Yeah.
do that in rap.
Yeah.
That was very different from
Like-
what was the standard from saying who your favorite rap artist was, because he stated Haley Williams was
Yeah.
like his
Yeah.
inspiration.
And also like the cool thing with emo rap was it changed rap. Like where
Yeah.
all the
It, like,
melodic
reverse
stuff.
influence.
Yeah, all the melodic
Yeah.
stuff, like which is now everything, you know, comes from that. And before that, all the singing stuff was more like R&B influenced, you know.
True.
But
true.
there's a very like different distinction in like the melodic choices an R&B singer will make versus an
Yeah.
alternative singer, and like Uzi and like Peep and Bones and like
Well, I feel like somebody
Juice
else
and all the
in this
trippy-
conversation, I was gonna say Trippy Red.
yeah, Trippy
That's
also.
very true. Trippie
goated
Red was
singer.
definitely
Yeah,
like,
incorporated
there were-
into the style.
Like Trippy,
Insane singer.
Trippy sings like Chino. Like if you listen to Trippy Red's melodies and like think like Chino, it's like super obvious, you know.
What
Trippy
would
Red's.
be-
He's another kind of like. Again, I would almost argue he's underrated.
Yeah, I think
You
so
know what
too.
I mean? Because I think there's controversy in it that you know maybe helps or doesn't help sometimes. But like his vocals and like the way he can rap and sing and do like emo vocals, but even like R&B vocals,
Yeah, it's great.
is like it's unparalleled. Like
Yep.
it's crazy.
I like
What would
Trippie
be your
Redd.
Yeah.
commentary on like Playboy Cardi? Kind
I-
of like his whole.
I love
like,
Cardi.
love Cardi.
He's fire.
Love Cardi
Whoa, I love Cardi.
because
What would be
to-
your commentary on his kind of like introduction, sort of? Because I understand he's incorporating kind of like rock music into his
yes,
sort of vibe and kind
Yeah.
of like, you know, sort of thing.
yes.
What would be your commentary on
So
that?
for me, I want rock and metal and like goth and alternative culture to be as big as it possibly can.
like
Yeah.
early 2000s, that was the mainstream
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And Cardi,
On the radio, you would listen to rock. You would listen to Linkin Park.
Yeah.
That was
I mean, the
Yeah.
Prodigy is like
Down, that would be
it.
on
The
the
Prodigy
radio.
is just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you listen to it and you're like, okay, this is the drums are very like this
Yeah.
is very rock,
I don't-
but this is very hip hop.
I also
like,
I also don't necessarily care if it comes from rock or not. Like to me, Cardi is amazing because he's one of the biggest rappers and he's like incorporating like even just being like the vamp goth thing. Obviously that's not new, but it is new in rap. So
Yeah.
like a lot of these kids, you know, this is the first time they're being exposed to it, and who knows how many like goth kids he's gonna like produce from this. And plus
he
like
definitely has followers.
yeah,
that's for sure.
and if
Yeah.
you watch
You got a
his
couple.
live sets, he has like a heavy guitar player basically doing like metal renditions of like his songs. So if like that bleeds into his like music. It's great. And if you listen to his vocals really remind me of like 80s punk, like hardcore, like just like the repetitive, like shouting it. Like he clearly, like you can hear the influence like very clearly.
And almost like you can't understand what he's saying.
And that's
It's like,
part of it. That's part of it.
Like,
It's not about what it's not about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
It's about the flow and
And
the
the
energy and how it feels. Like
you're not supposed to understand it.
Cardi's
That's
very punk.
punk
He's
music
punk.
is
He's very
not very
punk.
understandable to begin with. So
it's not really
Yeah.
it's not the point of it, you know? Like,
Right.
So like when you
Yeah.
go see him live, you almost that's like the closest those kids. Definitely, probably that's a lot of the first time they're seeing like a guitar player live, you know.
Yeah.
I would
And
say that.
and they're experiencing like heavy guitar
In
and
new age, for
and-
sure.
yeah,
for new age.
for teenage kids, you know.
Teenage kids
Yeah.
who haven't been exposed to, you know, like the early.
that's like their version of
2000s
punk now.
Yeah.
That's what they get to
or the
experience.
90s,
It's
80s rock scene.
just
this
the way
is
it
their
works.
rock scene to
Yeah,
them.
the way it works is it's kind of like a funnel where you need like the biggest artists to be like a gateway to get people into more like obscure stuff.
I would
Right.
say
You know?
that's
If
very
you don't
so.
have that, like that's what happened. Like that's what
Kind
happened.
of what
to
happened
rock
with
in the last,
MGK. Like
Literally,
it was a mainstream
off.
thing. It was a mainstream thing that like honestly, like a lot of the kids that like watch TikTok, nothing wrong with that. See MGK, whatever. That's I mean, it's the gateway to everything else. Just like people
Yeah.
say weed is a gateway drug,
Yeah.
MGK is the gateway
Well,
to punk music in this day and age. Like
Yeah.
like
For younger kids.
right before a good way to indicate like how this stuff is happening is whatever is like the coolest thing going on in like underground music is going to be the next mainstream thing. Like that's like
Yeah.
a universal rule with music. Like it always repeats ever since the start of like you know the blues or whatever. So like MGK, it like emo rap had been getting popular for like 7 years or so.
Yeah.
And it took that
Yeah.
long for like a whole generation's ear to be like tuned to like liking those kind of
oh,
melodies.
this is
and
where it
stuff.
comes from. It's
Yeah.
this.
And then MGK and Travis do an album, and Travis is just like such a genius, you know, that he had like the foresight to be like, well, let's make a whole album like this.
right.
And because there had been like Juice was playing around with doing rock songs, you know, other emo rappers were kind of playing around with doing rock songs, but like MGK was the first dude to be like, I'm gonna make a whole album like this. And obviously having Travis like produce it for him was like genius, you know, because that's what Travis does. So yeah, I think that MGK gets people into like more obscure kinds of music because that's just how it goes.
Yeah, you can
no one
hate-
wakes up and listens to Cannibal Corpse. Like you
Okay,
have to
okay.
like get there. You
There's
know,
a
like,
gateway.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
have to-
you have to
you
like
You
have
have
an
to warm
easy
your
route
ears up
to
to
that.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I have two things to say, and maybe 2.5 now that you mentioned Cannibal Corpse. Bro, only like the people who like from Indiana who were like, oh, we
metal.
I don't know how they got on the show, but here they are. They're like Cannibal Corpse as fuck.
Hell yeah,
Josh,
brother.
Yeah, to the dead. Ah! It's like my people. But also like two things. Okay, so one was the MGK thing. It's like made it popular because me and Johnny Gilbert talked about it.
Mhm.
Within the last year, I was like, bro, anybody with like any dude who wears eyeshadow and has a fringe, you get invited to every fucking party. And it's not been like this
No.
in the last 5 years because me and Johnny both lived in LA before we both left and we both came back.
too.
There was a boom
Yeah.
that happened.
It was a boom. and
Even
then it
when
was
I started doing TikTok and
we
making
literally, me and Johnny
was
talked
nothing.
about it and we were like, this is like a new resurgence of like
Yeah.
emo is cool again. It's weird. I don't want to talk too much about that because whatever, but like
Different
that's the
topic.
first point. But the second point is that
Yeah, I mean, it takes something like that for normal people to, you
Right.
know, be
there's a
into it.
common denominator that
And
you need sometimes.
I think a lot of people, it's easy to kind of forget that, you know, probably like pre 2015 or so was not cool at all. Like
Yeah.
it was
No.
nowhere,
Right.
there was no guitars on the radio
I was
at all.
literally just
Like,
gonna say,
I
I was
cut
like,
my- I had
there
a
was
middle
people
part.
where guitars
that.
weren't cool, bro.
I had a
People
middle
forget
part in
about that.
And I
2015.
remember,
Yeah, that's just proof in itself. Like,
But it's like the 20-year rule. Like whatever like generation of kids were like born in, whatever they just missed, usually they grow up and like nostalgia it and like bring it back around. So kids who are like
Yeah,
in their early
that's what I
20s
did.
who are like dictating like what's popular music now, you know, like 20s into like 30s or so, are bring back what they thought was cool when they were younger.
yep,
True.
that's us.
Like it happened in the 2000s with like the Strokes and stuff like that. You know, they were just basically like rehashing like 80s garage rock. Like it happens every generation.
Like I've heard a lot of people talk about like Deftones and like when Deftones actually like first came out, like they were nobody.
It's
and
a
like
meme. It's
it
a
was a
meme
flop
now because people worship
And-
them so much.
And now like people are like Deftones are like literally just all over Deftones. Like it's a meme. It's become a thing. And when things become memes now, that's like you're big.
Yeah.
But like I've heard.
Deftones, you're basic.
Yeah, but I heard that Deftones just wasn't it back when they came out. It was like just one of those bands.
I
it's a
like
thing.
them. I've always liked them. Or not, I don't want to say always, but like ever since I first heard them, I like them. I just watched Blink-182 with Abe, the drummer in Sacramento, and that was amazing. I was very stoked.
Sacktown.
But it was really cool. I'd like talk to him about this for like a long time, and yeah, he was just like, I don't know, bro. Like I'm just stoked. Like we're doing real good, you know. So
That's crazy.
I think too, like the Deftones thing is funny. Well, they've always been pretty popular. Like as soon as White Pony came out, but as soon as White Pony came out, they were like a mainstream band but they've never been small. Like they've always been a huge
Right. Not even saying that they were small, but they were a band.
They're back to
And now they're like TikTok just does something weird to like
I think
bands that have
like,
been around.
I think because they sound kind of sexy.
And I think we were talking about like we watched a
Shoegaze
clip
vibe.
of Vic Fuentes. We were watching a clip of Vic Fuentes from Pierceville.
Shout out.
And what was he talking about? He was like talking about like people call their
what he
fans like
said was
TikTok Pierceville fans. Like you're a fan,
OG,
though.
the elder emos, whatever, were like shaming new generation for loving Pierce the Veil for discovering them on TikTok.
I might have been one of those.
And Vic Fuentes, the singer, was like,
been one of those
no, if you feel the music, that's the point. Like,
Yeah.
If you're an artist, you don't care. Like you really
Yeah.
don't. Like
The fans are the ones who gatekeep and, have like put them on a pedestal more than the artist puts themselves on a pedestal. So I think like that's
they're
where it
just
comes
making
from.
music, you know. They're
Yeah.
just like
They don't have time to put anything on a pedestal. They just make the music and you consume it. But the people who are consuming, I think not care a little too much sometimes, but I think
no, they care too much. They care. Some people care.
I think they act like they made it.
I think
Yeah.
it's more
They
like
didn't. So
the band is like whoever is receptive to my music and understands my music, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Whoever can relate the most and can understand what I'm going through and understand like what I wrote this song about is like what's most important. I think a lot of people connect with that because their music can relate to all different like
everybody.
walks of form of life. Like
Yeah.
even if you're 14 years old, you can relate to it. You can
True.
relate to it when you're 20.
probably
You can
relate to it
when
more
you're
when
30.
you're 14.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you're feeling
true.
pain a little
Yeah,
bit
you
on
feel
a
it harder.
amplified
You feel it
level.
harder. I mean, definitely. I listened to my first Pierceville song when I was like 11 years old.
Yeah.
So I definitely felt it a little bit different.
Same thing
But-
with Paramore. Let's go.
Yeah. So.
I have a Paramore tattoo too.
Oh, twins. Where?
Show it. Show it.
Oh, you have a hard time tattoo.
Damn, that's
Well,
crazy.
I don't know. You're the first person I met that's had another Paramore tattoo because no one has a Paramore tattoo. They're like, oh yeah, bring me the horizon, and I'm like, boo, death metal.
Yeah, I think it's the side. It's like,
Oh yeah.
Damn, that's
Fuck.
crazy.
yeah, it sucks.
Dude.
But yeah, I feel like
Anyway,
definitely Pierceville's like kind of like the gateway for me. My first band. That
Yeah.
Kind of like aside from like listening to like WWE, like System of a Down sort of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, like that was my.
Oh.
I grew up with the older brother, so he kind of like got me.
Yeah.
Is that a band?
During
I mean,
the
their
early
entrance
2000s,
songs.
like,
The entrance songs is
Yeah.
what would do it. You
It
know.
was like kind of like during the Jackass era, like you were a skateboarder, you listened to this.
Yeah, like I
you
played
listened
That's
Tony
me.
Hawk.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
That was my thing.
That's me.
But I kind of like, yeah,
Yep,
definitely.
yep.
Viva la Bam.
Yeah.
It
The dots
definitely
are
was
connected.
That, Viva la Bam. And that's kind of like what got me into it. But then, like the secondary round when I was older, that got me more into it was definitely Pierceville and
Yeah,
Sleeping with Sirens.
I-
That was, like,
Yeah,
kind of
Sleeping with
my-
Sirens.
That's
Yeah.
a different thing.
The
too,
beauty
you know?
of it
Framed
is
Roger Rabbit.
That's scene.
Great, or
That's like
Roger
your
Rabbit.
intro to scene.
Right.
Yeah.
That was like my intro. Like I had the like.
Which scene is a different thing, you know.
What's really
Kind of like,
cool,
I had the
I think
intro,
about
but then I
had,
like the whole
I relate.
alternative scene.
Yeah.
I think what's really cool about the whole alternative scene is you can have like a group of your favorite bands, and like everyone becomes like a different part of like the alternative scene based on those umbrella bands that you started off
Yeah.
with.
Yeah,
So
it's
like
everyone's
you
like pick your top
like
three. And
me
then
and Jordan, we have
fills
our
it in.
similar bands, which is why we relate to each other a lot.
We're gonna go
you
see
know?
them all live.
Yeah, we're just
Awesome.
falling in
Well,
reverse.
We're gonna
honestly,
make it happen
like,
this year. We're gonna see it.
Like, you know, there's a different niche in each niche. It's crazy.
Oh yeah,
Like-
Cyrus should buy us the concert tickets.
They-
Whatever. It's
Anyway.
It's a deep rabbit hole.
MySpace
It is.
scene
It's
kid
just
shit,
like
but
there's an
anyways,
umbrella for each niche in a niche in a niche in a niche, and it's just like crazy because that's what makes it so unique. Is that like it's already unique, and then there's a uniqueness about having like a band that leads to a band that leads to a band, you know, and that's
Yeah,
what
and
makes
it's
it
a fun
cool.
thing to like trail back, you know, like be
And
like,
when you
where
meet
did it come
someone-
from, you know?
Yeah, when you meet someone who likes the same band as you, then you guys both probably have the same like in-depth understanding of like other bands that led to that or whatever.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to find out who bands you like were
Yeah.
into, and then listen to who they were into, and like try and figure out like how.
Because there's a lot of
Yeah.
bands that sound the same, but like I don't
Even
know.
If you say, like, if you generalize yourself as, oh, I'm emo, whatever.
What kind of
What
emo?
kind of emo
Are you
Are
goth emo?
post-hardcore?
Yeah.
Are you goth emo?
Are you screamo emo?
There's a lot of
Are you
versions.
scene
It's a lot of
emo?
versions.
New age?
Are you a?
this?
It's
Are you
funny.
that?
It's
Yeah.
funny
Different.
because like I usually just use like the alternative scene as like a blanket.
Yeah, so do I, yeah.
umbrella
Yeah.
Statement.
Alternative's a good word for
because
it.
Yeah.
so many people are just such like exhausting nerds about like specifics where
Do you know this?
it's like,
person
yes,
now?
I know.
and I don't.
I
I'm
know where
sorry.
the term emo comes from. I get that it comes from hardcore. I get that there's all these bands like Rites of Spring and stuff like that.
But
that
emo is
started.
also a blanket term too.
It has very much become that, but there's
Yeah.
definitely a small group of people who are like into like its origin, like where
Right.
it came from.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
is emo
Yeah.
violence, you know?
Yes.
And they like get real butthurt
I think
about
If you're emo, you wear a fucking vest.
Like there was this one
Okay.
time
Stuff like that,
on
yeah.
TikTok where I made an emo song challenge, and it was just kind of like a pre-made thing where like someone already did the same exact TikTok, like had the same audio, whatever they called it, like an emo song challenge. So I did the same exact thing, but
that's you.
yeah, that was me.
that was you.
But anyway, what was included in that song challenge was like Linkin Park and stuff, and like you know bands like that.
not
Yeah.
emo.
Not
Which
emo.
is not emo.
And there was like a
Yeah.
lot of people that were like, "That's
Yeah.
not fucking emo."
That's the joke.
But
That's the
but I'm like I'm using a blanket
Poser.
term in that sense, and also I was just like using a TikTok thing that someone
Yeah.
else did.
Yeah.
But it's also like
People
maybe,
seeing emo is gonna go up more.
Yeah,
Yep, yep.
yeah, exactly. But it's like obviously Linkin Park is not emo, but emo people listen to Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
And
there's
emo
like
bands
there's a
are
fine
influenced
line.
from Linkin Park.
Yes.
Yes,
Like,
there's a
much.
very
Like,
fine
yeah.
line.
Yeah.
Like you know. It's just interpretation, and I feel like if you're sensitive or not, that's just where the line draws.
Yeah, it's when people get real
Specific.
aggressive about that stuff. That's just funny to me. Even like
Yeah.
with goth, you know, like it's good to have really overly passionate like people at like a core of a fan base because they
Right.
kind of are like diehards.
Yeah, they hold it up. Yeah,
But you don't want that to like dictate the
because then you're
scene.
gonna have your people talk about your band.
Yeah. 'Cause then they just scare everyone away.
Yeah, and then people are gonna talk about your band and first thing about your fans, I fucking hate their fans because they're just like annoying to be around and like
Yeah.
you don't want that.
Literally
like
what you said last week when I was
Yes.
I like a day to remember. You were like, fuck them. 'cause
I go,
have
fuck
one
them 'cause I
story
hate their
about some
band-
bitch
bands.
that had a show from a day to yeah.
Oh man.
One
Elbowing
bad
me
thing.
in the fucking
I love a
rib.
day to remember.
But I do.
That's what I said.
But there's a fine line.
They're the
I
they're
love
the
their
homies,
music.
dude, look.
I love their music. I don't like their fans.
One bad story though, of like an asshole.
Hey, that's okay. There are bands who I'm friends with where their fans kind of bug me too. So
I love
Yeah.
the band though. The band. That's
yeah,
the thing.
I don't
like,
let
I love
the
the
fan
band.
base affect whether I
No.
like a band or not.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Like
No.
I really
Definitely.
try and make sure that I don't let
Gotta
that happen.
separate it.
Right. Even I don't really like their fans. I still like their music.
Separate the fan
Yes.
base from the artist.
Yeah.
You didn't
I made
say
that very clear.
And like
You didn't say it, so more
At a
guys.
certain-
I hate this town. It's so
At a
washed
certain-
up, and all my friends don't give a fuck. Yes.
someone could carry a tune. Also, at a certain point, like people's fan bases just start bleeding together. Where it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like unless you're talking about some like niche underground thing, you know, that's like specific. Like a Day to Remember fan, like everyone who
Everyone
likes a
knows
Day to
a
Remember
fucking
likes
Day
probably
to
Bring Me the Horizon.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's
Let's be for real.
maybe they like a Day to Remember a little more than Bring Me the
And now
Horizon. but they
those
definitely
bands are like the gateway to other bands now,
Yeah.
which is funny.
And then now it's like, oh, if you like Day to Remember, I'm fucking bringing the Horizon Suicide Season fan. Like you weren't there. Like this is
You
deathcore.
weren't there.
Yeah.
It's always a
Not
competition because I
deathcore.
feel like all of us are the
You're not
same. At the end of the day, we were all little insecure teenagers. So I feel like that shines through. Like we were all insecure little teenagers, and now we're
Yeah.
like, it's a competition. It's a competition.
I think too when you're
I'm
like
not saying
learning,
you know this, you don't know that.
Yeah.
like when you're learning about like a new style of music or whatever that you like really identify with and kind of make your
You take it
personality,
personal.
you get way more into it, and then like you get a little older and you realize like, oh, the people who made this music don't care and they don't agree with me. Like
Yeah.
that was a thing for
Yeah.
me like in punk that I found out pretty quickly because that was kind of the first thing I really got into as like a subculture was punk. And I was like, okay, these are like the tenets of punk and like this is the way it is. Kind of like was like aggressive about it for a second. And then like after watching interviews of people who I looked up to, like just blatantly be like,
I don't give a
yeah,
fuck.
we don't care. Like,
Yeah.
like we just kind of made music that felt good to us. Like, I don't
Yeah,
care if this
yeah.
band sounds just like us or blah, blah. I was like, oh, okay. Like, and like usually the fan people speaking like even for myself, like people who are like deathcore purists who like, cause you know, like we're our band.
Yeah.
My band is
Yeah.
like a pioneering deathcore
Pioneer,
band.
for
like,
sure.
Like, you know, the like the symphonic like deathcore thing, which
Yeah.
every band does now. Like and I can say it because this was before I was in the band. So I'm not saying
Yeah.
I invented this.
Yeah.
But like
Will you just
the
like
band.
knock a tooth out of me or something right out to prove a point?
Boom.
Well, it was just like the band was the first band to do that like on a big scale,
Yeah.
you know, and like
And just to say it again, Winds of Plague, just in case people are
Right.
scrubbing
Yeah.
in and whatever. But Winds
So-
of Plague.
They're like,
but
which band?
people who are like aggressive about that and like are like, oh, you don't listen to real deathcore because you like Lorna Shore now and you like Winds of Plague did it first. Like I've had people tell me that before, and I'm like, dude, like
Really?
I'm like, dude, don't be like that.
At
Like,
the end of
Yeah.
the day,
The
everyone's
people
gonna have
who
their
are-
own opinions, and like honestly, when you know that, it really doesn't matter. But it's
Yeah.
always gonna be annoying because it's like if you have that perspective, then like why are you still being like that?
well, the thing is,
You
like
know,
your
but-
band you look up to hates that you think that.
If you
way.
watch most
Yeah.
interviews of like lead singers, whatever, they're always gonna say that. They're like, I've seen people react to their own like music videos and reacting to other people. No one really cares. Like they're just making the music because they feel like they
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
to.
For me, it's like Lorna Shore is amazing. Or like, you know, I just produced this band of Sulfur, and they're like a big new like symphonic deathcore band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't care that my band was like the one who did it for like.
Bro.
I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
other
yeah.
band. I like that. This
You
is
like
the direction
sound,
of
you
the
want
genre.
other people
Like,
to do it. Yeah,
don't
exactly.
don't get like don't try and like defend us
Yeah.
or something. You know, like
Yeah.
we hate that. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's the craziest thing because you've been in this band forever and you're producing for like the craziest shit, and you're saying this. It's like, dude,
Well, also like I have like such an open mind that like my head falls out sometimes too. To be honest with you, like where I like it's I like more music than I don't like music, and every time I listen to music, I try and like find the positives,
Like
in
what
it
you like about
before,
it.
That's how
and
I
try
am.
and
Yeah.
I try and
get
like
that.
learn. And if I'm not getting it right away, and like a lot of people like it, I will try and like at least understand why a lot of people like it and like what
Yeah.
it is they like about it.
It's like
Just-
more of like you want to know the psychology
Yeah,
behind
I
a lot
just
of
don't want
things.
anything to go over my head.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
If
what does
hap-
that mean? What
You
does
don't
that
want to
mean?
miss a learning opportunity when it comes to music, right? Or
Yeah, like if
Yeah.
something goes over your head, it means that like you just don't understand. Like, you know, like I think a lot of people, you know, if they listen to like screaming music for the first time, it's going over their head because
Right.
to
Yeah.
them it just sounds like noise. They're not. It's not like they actually like.
Same thing with
contextual-
EDM. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is like beep boop beep boop, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh,
That's
I
going
hate
over.
it.
That's going over someone's head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same thing with
yeah.
screamo.
Where you can't understand like this is like a purposeful like form of
Project,
art,
yeah.
you know that
Yeah.
like, and if you can't understand
That
like
has a whole lexicon around
yeah,
it.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
or it's that way. Like, I don't love all country.
Yeah.
You know, but I
Right.
still will listen to like the chord progressions and like the
Yeah.
melody and stuff and be like,
Yeah.
how are they doing this? Like, so I can at least have an understanding of it.
Yeah.
So
it
that's the
doesn't go
beauty
over my
behind it.
head.
Like when you become open minded, then you aren't really you're trying not to let anything go over your head. That's why you probably do like screamo. You like, you know, these
Yeah.
type of bands because you're already in that mindset where you're like
Yeah.
open to things.
Well, I think
and-
something if I can interject
Yeah,
too,
Yeah.
I think that's something that's really important. You know, speaking to the producer ear, right? I think a good
Yeah.
producer
I think that's a
is
lot
going
of
to have
producer
that
thing.
mindset.
Here we go.
I mean, look at people like
the
Pharrell,
Rick
like
Rubin.
Mark Ronson, and Rick Rubin, and I mean all these people who are great producers. A lot of them are extremely open minded with music, new subcultures, new genres. They're not very like judgmental, like especially some of the people I've seen that are just like insanely talented. They're
Yeah.
just constantly being like it's almost like an AI. They're being
Well-
like fed all this input and just being like, oh, cool, I'm taking this from here. I'm taking this
Yeah.
from here. It's cool. And there's not this like filter of like, oh, I don't want to take something from here because that could be corny or whatever.
Yeah, when
It's
you
this
work
very,
with
like, almost childlike way of
Yeah.
building songs.
when you work with like geniuses a lot, it's definitely like humbling to the point where you don't really see yourself as being above anything, you know?
yeah, exactly.
Where like Rick Rubin's my personal favorite
Yeah.
producer, and
Facts.
that's just
Dude.
because
Thank you.
he's the best. Like no one
Yeah.
else has done as many genres successfully as him, you
Yeah.
know? And it's been cool like working with Shavo,
Nice.
getting to like
Mic drop.
have more of like an insight on like how Rick works and like how he thinks and stuff.
So
you
does
know?
Shavo work with Rick?
Yeah, so Rick produced all the System of a Down albums.
Okay, yeah. Got it. That's what it was.
So
Yeah.
Wait, so did you work with?
with Rick? No, I wish.
It'll happen.
You worked
dude.
on System though.
No, I'm making Shavo from System's solo album.
Right.
So System hasn't.
Right,
System
right.
released 2 songs in 2020, and before that they haven't released an
Right.
album in 12. So that's the whole thing. Is like, and somehow they have keep getting bigger and bigger. And
Yeah.
right now they're like
Yeah.
one of the biggest metal bands in the world. Like,
Wow.
I
I
know.
mean, they've been
I
that,
know.
but
Yeah.
I know.
it's crazy. Like, you know, I can't really. I don't want to like spill their tea too much, but you know, it's just like one of those things where it's not uncommon knowledge that they're like as a gear in the gears jammed.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
it was
I know what
System.
you're talking about. Yeah.
So that's the reason we're doing like a Shavo album. You know.
Yeah.
So
We may or may not have had some experiences with, you know,
Jammed
people
gears.
who- gears being jammed.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we just did a song, so I
No, it doesn't matter. We're working
no.
on shit.
Well,
Different. Change topic, but go ahead.
no. Well,
Don't name names. Change
no
topic.
names. No. You're making it sound way crazier than whatever I was gonna
It's
say,
not crazy.
bro. All I was gonna
Like,
say is
ooh.
we just worked on a song with Mason Musso of
Oh
Metro
yeah,
Station.
no, not that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's fine.
gotcha.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Talk
Not
about
that.
It's fine.
And I produced the track.
Yeah.
And then
Cozy
helped
Boy.
write whatever.
I produced for
And-
Trace before.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Which one? Oh shit. Okay.
But
Wait, isn't that Mason? No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, so Jordan and so Mason did the hook and Jordan did the verses and stuff. But that was really cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is also kind of known that like Metro has some jammed gears as well.
Yo,
and
that was definitely different.
Right.
There's a lot of
you might be
jammed
completely
gears.
cut out, bro.
There's a lot
of
of
the
jammed gears
frame.
happening in the music industry. That was one of them.
Yeah, he's in frame.
Oh, he is okay. Never mind.
Yeah, there's a lot of jam
We're just
gears out
blind.
there.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah, it's a bummer. So
'Cause there's a lot of really amazing bands that just like time goes on and I feel like scene dies, you know, and like it's hard to like revive that. And I feel like
also, if you're rich, you know, it's like a different.
just do
thing.
it, but
Like,
also
it's-
like you can't just. But also you need inspo because we have outlets. You know. It's hard to do shit even when it's right in front of you. You have to have the motivation, the inspiration to do it. If you don't have that, you can have all the money and all the situations lined up in front of you. But if you don't have the inspiration to do it, you're not going to do it. So it's like, I feel like, you know, Metro Station.
That was a different conversation.
There's some,
but,
well, you know, there's
but the
a
other
lot
night
of
we
it.
did. We were like, how bad do we want this money?
Yeah,
And we
but
said
it's like,
no. We were like, no, it's too fucked up.
You know,
not Metro Station. By the way,
there's a
Not
lot
Mason.
of like creators.
different situation, but we both were like mutual. Like, no, this is like really fucked up shit.
Right. There's a
Yeah.
lot of like
Not Mason, by
creators
the
and like
way.
musicians who like won't do it for the money. They won't do it because like they just don't feel like they can or
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
they
or
won't
they
force
just don't
themselves.
feel like it.
Right. And it's like I'd rather have that than like have a forced song that I have to listen to.
No, yeah, totally.
So
You gotta-
I respect it in a way.
But
so,
I will say, like, there's also some differences there. Like, wasn't it like I'm gonna butcher this, but wasn't it the Rolling Stones? It was like Keith Richard and the other
Yeah.
guy hated each other.
Oh, Mick.
Yeah, right. They hated each other.
now Motley
was, like, the
Crue's
whole
gone.
thing,
So
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I don't know, just
No, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
being in a
can be
band is like
created
being
in-
in a marriage. It's
in
like
very different
It-
ways.
yeah.
Yeah.
especially
But bands are complicated, I think.
yeah, especially if you have more than one person who kind of like steers the creative ship.
Yeah.
If like those two people start drifting in different creative directions, sometimes the best art will come from that when you
Yeah.
can't agree. But that's
Yeah.
definitely not best for people's relationships. You know, like,
Yeah.
that's a good.
And sometimes it'll just be a full stop.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'll bet
that'll
you,
happen
like,
too.
if you're
That'll
really
happen
like
too.
butting heads, you could probably make some great art if you can be
Yeah.
in that.
No one's
but it's
happy, but all
so
the fans are
hard.
super happy.
It's so hard to be in that energy, though.
It's
It's
like
so draining. It's so draining.
Pure fucking.
Yeah, it's like
yeah, like I
pure-
hate
Some
this
people
song.
need that.
It comes out and then like
'Cause
people love it.
I feel like nothing drives.
Bro, yeah,
I don't know. Maybe that's a heavy statement, but I feel like a lot of good music is driven by negative emotion. You know what I mean?
Yes.
it
Yeah,
is.
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my
We were trying to
And
write a
there's-
song the other day, and all that was coming out of our mouths was sad,
Yeah.
negative, and you know it was hard.
Anyways, good songs come from hard times.
Yeah.
Soft men come from good times.
Yeah, a lot of times too, like sometimes though, like good songs don't. I feel like some people feel like people have to be suffering to write like good like sad songs, or like they have to be angry to write good like heavy songs up, and that's just not really the case, you know. A lot of times
suffering is a different extent to even what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a difference between like just being fully on like suffering and like I think that's something as like even as an artist, like going through those, I'm sure you've been through those cycles too, where it's like, can I make good music if I'm in a good place? Yeah. Like that was a legitimate question I had for a while.
I've actually never really, luckily enough, never really kind of come across that. To me, like music
with that.
Is pretty like, can be pretty mechanical. Like sometimes, you know, where no matter how I'm feeling, like I'm confident enough in like my ability to make music where I can like make at least something that is like decent. You know,
what's your zodiac sign?
Libra.
He's focused.
Oh, now it's my turn to talk.
Is that what that is? That
I'm a Libra rising. You're an air sign like me.
I'm a double Libra. I have my thing.
I'm a double Gemini.
Pull it up.
You're on your ish.
You're a Libra. You're a Libra. Libra what?
Libra Capricorn, I think.
Oh, he's me and you combined.
Yeah, I have exactly. You already know the Capricorn.
Yeah. Okay. It's a really good combo you got there. And Cozy over here is an Aquarius. Okay. Mariah over here is a Cancer. Oh, yeah, so Hair Jordan over here is a Capricorn. Capricorn, or yeah.
So
I got it all memorized.
I'm Libra.
That's crazy. Double
Capricorn.
Gemini.
Yeah.
My sun is Libra, right? So that's double Libra.
Oh, you're a Libra sandwich.
Yeah.
You're a Libra, Capricorn, Libra.
Did you say do I have a kid? No, my son is Libra. Not like
I was like, wait.
No, I don't have a kid.
You're S-U-N.
My
Your
S-U-N,
sun, like the sun in the sky.
Hold the fuck up.
That's crazy.
Oh, we showing
Our
co-stars. Okay, talking about astrology.
My moon is Capricorn.
Give me a little ride up.
Mind you, I don't know what any of this means, or do I
could go down the rabbit hole.
You know what LA survival
we both
have
do I believe in it?
You know what it means?
Yeah.
We both have Libra rising, so we got that in common. So I get it with the open-mindedness and also being very indecisive.
There you
Go. Indecisive.
Damn.
But
Well, hold up.
Open to all possibilities.
Don't do the man dirty. If you don't have co-star, that means you're wholesome.
Is that true? Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, I guess there's like memes out there.
I definitely didn't get co-star for wholesome reasons.
Right, exactly. That's why I always make a joke. There's always a meme where like you're for the streets if you have co-star. There's definitely been a bitch in your life that's like, get co-star for me because I want to know your astrology chart.
Not girls. If a guy knows too much about co-star, means you're a hoe.
Red flag.
A man whore.
You just have it down, yeah.
Yeah.
You're openly like, I don't know. That means
Yeah.
wholesome, bro.
I just have it.
I know.
But he
a
said he
couple
doesn't
things.
have it for wholesome reasons. So
True, but I haven't really like studied it enough to really pull it out.
he's
in the
not
fuckboy
committed
way.
to the non-wholesome bit.
He's not committed to any bit except great songs, apparently.
Do you know any of yours, Cozy, other than Aquarius?
Yeah, I'm Aquarius, Virgo, Sagittarius.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting one. You're fiery and earthy and airy. That's all the above.
It's the avatar over here.
Yeah.
No, but
Call me
the
Aang.
avatar.
Call me
You're the
Aang.
airbender,
Let's
the
go.
firebender. You're all of the
Let's
benders,
go.
actually.
I always joke with people
He's on
that
the bender. He's
a
the
Virgo
bender.
moon is my redeeming quality.
He's looking for someone to drag him into the bender like me. The literal reason we're like, let's work together.
All three of us are air signs. We go with the flow. This man right here he's a earth sign. He's a workaholic right here.
Chaos.
No.
I literally have footage of being MORGOTH before like the Grammy show. Michael Vampire and like Goldfinger and
Yeah.
Damn.
literally everyone in my bedroom never been released. And like half the people were like, what's this footage for? And I was like, I don't know. I make content. It's what I do. I'm filming it.
Usually the answer, he just always has a camera on.
Literally,
And then if
my
you
answer
need the
now,
content, it's
half
there.
a year later is I'm Capricorn, so I have to film it. But like half a year ago, I told you and all the other, I was like,
What's on your fingers? Capricorn. Every single manager I've had in my life has been a Capricorn.
The word work
Workaholics.
And then the dollar
What's on
sign.
everyone's finger?
Hey.
Just being
Work.
happy.
Oh,
everyone's
I
like,
have
why?
nothing.
Mine
I don't have
says
anything yet.
open mind.
I don't know why, but for some reason, y'all are here.
Yours says open mind.
Yeah.
That's so air sign of you.
Dude, what the
It's so true
Open
though.
mind. Can you show that to the camera? over
I
there?
always talk about that.
Hey.
She does. That's why.
And
I
I'm an air sign like you. And you're a workaholic. It just makes sense, you know.
Open mind, and then I
We
have
could
a
be
guitar
little
tuning.
astrology
Oh,
whores for a
that's
second.
hard. So you never forget it.
I never
Right?
forget the guitar tuning. Yeah.
Well, that's crazy that
That's
it says
actually
that.
cool.
Wow. See, it all makes sense.
I don't believe
Whether
in any
you
of this
believe it
shit.
or not,
I think
it
it's all
makes sense.
I started
I kind of
experiment.
part of me feels that way too, but part of me embraces. I don't know.
It's all up into
I'll
it's
pretend I believe in
interpretation.
it.
Yeah, I don't know these things.
I believe in interpretation, so
I'll say
none of it
this:
matters.
having not like read about it, and then one of my really good friends, she's an Aquarius, and she's always telling me, she's like, you're the most Aquarius I've ever met, and I have a lot of like Aquarius in my chart or whatever, because she's like looked at all my shit, and I'll be like, oh, like I don't know, I don't really believe in that, this and that, and then she's like, that's what an Aquarius would say.
It is
Damn,
true.
Yeah.
like,
It is true.
I can't
Aquarius
win,
is
dude. I can't
Here's-
win.
because
Here's the
Aquariuses
thing.
are just like whatever, and you don't like to reply to a lot of people. You're like,
Here's
"Meh,
the-
whatever.
Here's the thing.
Let's see.
It's.
What's the thing?
I feel like when I read other people's sign, I relate to them too.
Yeah.
Where
Oh, yeah.
to me, like I can definitely like put myself into like all the stuff my chart says, like
Yeah,
for sure.
Same.
But at the same time, like I feel like you also kind of have to be self-aware that like
Mhm.
you're like projecting a lot
Yeah.
of times, you know, and
Yeah.
and also like there's a side of me that's like pretty scientific,
Sure.
you know, where
Sure.
but
Totally.
I don't think there's not that
It's like
there
logic,
isn't nothing
too.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like logic, and also
I like
if
to
you,
play. I like to
Not
play a fun
logic,
game where
Not the doll logic.
It's
So I thought this was the
Hey,
producer's
logic
episode, my
balls.
bad.
I like to play. I like to play a fun game where like if somebody's like really into it and they meet me and they're like, oh, like what's your sign, and they'll like talk to me for a
you
bit,
like play into
and
it.
then I'll just be like, oh, like what do I seem like to you, and they're like, I don't know, like I think you're like a Gemini. I'm like, you got it. Like that's crazy. And then
Oh
they're
my
like, I
God.
knew it. You know, they get all like,
I hate
See,
you for that.
that's-
That's so Aquarius of you to be so fucking evil.
yeah,
Just
be
kidding.
so facetious.
Yeah, you're like, ooh,
But that's a
Good
fun
word,
game to play with people.
facetious.
facetious.
And
I'm
then
gonna
like you get towards like
add
the
that
middle
to my
of the night, and you're like,
vocabulary.
oh, by the way, I'm
Bravo.
actually not a
Yeah.
Gemini. But anyways.
All right,
you know.
well, we got an Aquarius, we got a Libra, we got a Gemini, we got a Capricorn, we got a Cancer. None of us are the same, so it's an interesting combo right now.
So anyway,
By the way, Punks and Kisses, shout out. Thanks for letting us into your house. I'm
we
gonna
broke
just
in.
give you the mic right now.
Actually broke into my house, forced me to have this podcast.
She's like,
in
I'm being held
I had
hostage.
no choice. Held hostage.
Are we doing when we're young
The,
together?
the
or
cops
not?
are here right now, actually.
You take the mic. Yo, you talk though.
Cops are here. Gotta go.
I have the hoodie, but it is really hot because it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
fucking
let's
July. It's
shout
not your
out-
fault.
Shout out
Punks and Kisses.
and Kisses.
Will you
This
please
is
hold the mic? I need
the
two hands to show your merch.
The
Punks
merch.
and kisses.
We have a whole chain here too.
Unleash your slut.
What if someone's like name 3 bands?
We have stuff.
By the-
we have stuff for
Punks and
sluts, we have
Kisses,
stuff
your
for
favorite
punks,
band.
We have stuff for emos. We
Fuck,
have
I don't
stuff for
know.
everybody. Literally.
They don't have any songs.
Someone's just gonna think it's merch.
Right. I'm like, this is my favorite band,
Razor
Punks
blade
and
necklace,
Kisses.
Too. Don't even. Just
Don't
in case.
even.
Emergency
like, name-
razor blade in case you need one.
Name 3 bands. Name 3 songs
Exclusive.
from Punks and Kisses.
Maybe some
Guys, I'm
crazy
scared.
Punks and Kisses collabs coming soon.
Yeah.
Maybe see us at
Maybe
When We Were Young
Club.
Festival. Regardless, probably see us there anyway if we don't have a booth or
Yeah.
not. So
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't matter. But
Saturday from afar.
No, you're good, bro. So
Yeah,
to kind of
sure.
so to kind of steer some of the conversation back. So, is there anything else, maybe you'd want to like leave off with, or like,
Wait.
yeah,
I do want to acknowledge, you're Grammy nominated. Rock album.
yeah,
Rock
Yeah,
album
we-
of the year.
Ozzy,
this
Ozzy
year.
beat us though.
Go ahead. Go what?
Ozzy beat us. That's
Damn.
okay.
Ozzy Osbourne won.
what was the album though?
It was Machine
MGK.
Gun Kelly's.
Oh.
Machine Gun
Literally,
Kelly.
the reason that me and Johnny Gilbert talked, we were like, bro, it's crazy that we get attention 5 years after we're done doing our weird shit because we have mid eyeshadow because MGK's album is doing good.
eyeshadow
And
sucks.
you literally got like Grammy nominated for producing it. So like,
Yeah.
respect. By the way, shout out.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Room is someone with a fucking Grammy nominee.
Thank you for
Oh.
reviving the scene. Appreciate you, me, and not like a lot of other homies. By the way, last time I saw you was half a year ago. You were nominated, but now it's like,
Probably sad.
dude, Ozzy Osbourne got it, but also
To
that's kind of
lose,
cap.
I wouldn't have rather have lost anyone else.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And
that's
I liked
not a
his
bad
album. I
loss.
liked his album a lot. So
That's like
I love
major,
Ozzy.
like
I absolutely love Ozzy.
majorly.
Black Sabbath.
Yeah, like I will get it. I will. If
It took-
Dude,
I will
It
get
took
an Ozzy
that to
tattoo.
lose. That's what you could, be comfortable with. Like, oh fuck, it's Ozzy Osbourne. I mean,
the
what can I do?
okay, let me clarify here. The fact this is what happened. Okay, you were in the running. It was either rock album of the year, what you produced on, or the person whose jersey you're wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Half
right.
a year later, out of respect, because that's how wholesome you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna let that make me not like Black Sabbath.
That's
That's
how-
insanity.
Sabbath.
Yeah.
You're still wearing his merch a half a year later. Out of
I mean, but the
respect,
thing
bro.
is-
Who doesn't like? If you don't like Ozzy,
You gotta be an
what is
asshole
wrong
to
with
like
you?
not do that though. Like, and you're a good. We're all
Yeah,
cool.
I'm not-
I think that's
I'm
why
not-
Yeah.
none
music-
of us find it like completely.
I'm not really
crazy.
competitive when it
Nah.
comes to music.
Yeah, I don't get
Fuck
that vibe.
that. Fuck that. A lot of people hate Ozzy. Fuck that.
I would.
It's respectable to be like, I almost won, but I didn't because of one of my idols, and I will still wear his merch regardless. Knowing that I'm telling
Yeah.
you, like
And
I've
Kel-
told you this before, like you,
Kel's felt the same way too. Like
Really?
Yeah. He loves Ozzy too. So
like
that's one funny thing. People don't think he like actually legitimately like likes this stuff. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I know.
like some people like who are like poser and stuff. It's like, bro, he's literally been like talking about his like being into like bands. He had Sinister Gates on his first album. Like,
That's
what are you
crazy.
talking about?
What are you talking about?
Whoever's the biggest person, they have to like shit on. You know, it's just always.
Yeah.
always.
It just works
That's
that
like
way.
I feel like that's like the toxic side of the
How did you
alternative
meet?
scene.
How did you meet MGK?
That was definitely like a mutual friends thing too. Like just
Same. Let's trade stories.
handful of times.
Same.
Well, how that song actually happened was because that's probably more interesting. Was I'm good friends with his drummer Rook. Like
Rook.
me and Rook hang out a lot.
Love
We make
Rook.
music
Shout
a
out
lot. But yeah, I just went to his house with Rook, you know, to like just like work on some music stuff, and we were in the studio like kind of working on an idea, and yeah, Kels came in, and what we were working on ended up like, you know, the dudes had to leave the room and stuff, so it was just me and him sitting there.
Why?
I don't know, like they got like a phone call or something like that happened where like
Nobody made them.
no one made them. Yeah,
Oh,
it
they
was
just
like
had
it
to
wasn't
leave.
like drama. It
Like,
was
wait,
just
what the fuck?
no, it wasn't like drama. It was just kind of like
Like, we gotta go fuck outside, no?
yeah. It was just kind of like the song stopped for a minute, and me and him were just sitting there, and I was like, well, shit, I might as well like show you some ideas, like, you know, if we're just gonna be chilling here. And he was like, he was kind of tired and stuff too, so he was like, all right, like he's like, I don't want to sit here and listen to beats all night though. I was like, no, I'll just play you a couple, you know. So
To Rook or
to
Kels?
Kels.
Kels.
Rook was there too, and
Rook and Kels. Okay.
so I played him one thing that was like a more emo rap song, and he was like, oh, I'm not really doing like the 808 thing right now, or like the hip hop thing. He was like, do you have any like more like full on like rock songs? And I was like, and I mean, I've talked with Ronnie about this, so I could like say it, but like I had this song I made originally for
which
Falling
one?
in Reverse.
That
Oh,
Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Yeah, so I
Ronnie.
made the instrumental for Sid and Nancy. Me and my friend KJ, who made it, initially made it for Falling in Reverse, and ended up like Ronnie liked it a lot, but he didn't really want to go. He was at one point he kind of wanted to make some more pop punk stuff, and then he was like, "No, I'm gonna stick more to the heavy stuff." And so that song just kind of like didn't make it. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna play it for him because it's like kind of perfect." So I played it for him, and like yeah, it just instantly like we just sat there and started writing it, and like it's called Sid and Nancy, you know, so it's like obviously like a toxic relationship thing. So
Yes.
like him and like Megan were kind of like
Rocky.
not really like arguing, just like playfully kind of like, you know, and he was like taking lyrics from stuff she was telling him. And
Oh, okay.
Wait, when you were there, he was.
Yeah,
Or
like,
just like a general.
When you
and,
were
like,
writing
no,
it.
like, when we were making the song, and
Fuck.
then like he showed her and she like loved the song and stuff. So it
That's
was really
like
cool.
the perfect storm.
But yeah, it ended up like we wrote most of that song that night. It was pretty cool.
That's crazy.
But
man.
yeah, we originally
and
made that
this
for
is not
Falling in
off-
Reverse.
I don't think I've heard the song. It's not.
Sid and
It's
Nancy,
it's after Tickets to My Downfall.
Yeah, it's the next album. It's mainstream sellout.
What the
Yeah,
fuck? I
no.
haven't even heard a song off that album. Well, I gotta listen to it when I get home.
Emo girl.
Oh well, I've heard that song, but
That's why it was like, who gets the Grammy, Ozzy Osbourne or this guy?
Yeah, well,
That's
I
what-
just
that's what I'm
produced
saying.
on the album. Like, so
On the of
I'm,
course,
you know,
of
like
course, of course.
I would technically win a Grammy if that won, but you know, it's Bro's album. Like him
Yeah.
and Travis. It's really
Yeah.
him and Travis. Like I'm
Well,
like,
you need to produce on both next year.
yeah,
That's you.
hopefully.
right, yeah, that's.
But anyways,
But it's possible.
but no, yeah,
it's
that's what
fucking
it was.
Morgoth.
Produce on the song.
Yeah. So
I didn't mean
it
to
was
interrupt.
great.
I'm sorry.
No, it's I think the album went gold just recently too, which is pretty tight.
That's awesome, dude.
Sick.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Super sick.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I would have never thought that just making like fucking Blink-182 rip off riffs and stuff would have, you know,
It's-
would get you a Grammy
Right.
nom.
If
but
people
here we
like it, they
go.
like it. And if it's good, it's good. So
Exactly.
that's,
that's
all
crazy.
it really takes. If it's great, it's great.
Which I mean, yeah, I loved Blink when I was a kid. That was like my first thing I ever really like got super into. So like getting to work with like Travis on that was like, you know, amazing.
Yeah.
And he's like so cool. He's
yeah.
such like a humble dude and is just like one of the best musicians in the world.
Take off your pants and jacket.
Amazing.
Every single song.
Amazing.
Every
Get
single
naked.
song, bro. There's
Yeah.
not a single skip.
Nope.
It's crazy.
That's a 10 out of 10.
And you work with Suicide Silence as well.
Yes, I helped write some songs on the newest album that just came out, which I'm very stoked on because I was a huge fan. I mean, I am a huge fan, have been a huge fan like the whole time.
Great
Same.
band.
Yeah, like I knew Mitch. Like I gotta,
Really?
I gotta play with them live before. So like I gotta play with Mitch like on
Because
stage.
of Winds
when-
of Plague.
No, this is
No?
before Winds of Plague. So
Damn.
so I had another band called Goliath that we were like,
You mentioned this.
yeah, we got pretty big. Like we were definitely like the biggest California heavy band at one point, you know? And like we were starting to tour and all that stuff. But then I got into Winds of Plague, and Winds of Plague was a much bigger band. So I kind of ran with that. But before that, you know, that was how I got into Winds of Plague, was because I was in this band that was like blowing up sort of thing.
Okay.
Damn. Was it weird for you to leave Goliath?
No, because we were working like really hard. We were kind of more like in like the Knocked Loose like lane, but this is like maybe a little before Knocked Loose, you know, sort of. We were like a
Mhm.
beat somewhere in between like beatdown hardcore and deathcore.
Okay.
And that style hadn't really like permeated through like the mainstream. It was still like a very underground hardcore thing. But we were starting to do well.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of time where we like really exhausted it, you know, and
yeah.
it was just like we were all kind of like burnt a little bit. So when the opportunity got to just like jump into a sure thing that was dope, you know, I was like, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Damn. That's cool.
So you live with another legendary producer named Kinfolk John.
Yes. So me and him grew up together.
That's
Oh,
the
that's
craziest thing in New Mexico
Yeah.
by one of my favorite bands of all time, Broken Side in New Mexico.
Oh man, my old local band used to play with them like all the time.
I know we talked about this shit. We talked,
Yeah.
but like the podcast.
Talk
doesn't
about
know.
Broken Side every
Yeah.
day.
They're supposed to be here this weekend, but they're not going to be because
Situations.
situation.
Situations.
It's irrelevant now.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, but they're not coming. But that's like when we really talked, me, you, and John.
Yeah.
Because like years ago, I had messaged John about like, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But then we were all hanging out Hyperpunk. And then I realized, wait, you and John live together. Because John's produced for legit people too.
Yeah.
Zanarchy Gang. Zan, like
Yes.
Vert, like
Yeah.
I saw him on the Russian YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
That we were supposed I was just on it. It's not out yet, but it was like, no, Lil Xan and John. I was like, oh, it's John. It's Kip
Yeah.
John. I mentioned him on our episode. They did a rock episode.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was cool as fuck. And I was like, yeah, no, they're cool as fuck. But so y'all are from the same state. Y'all
Same
go
town.
Way back.
Like same
way
town.
back.
Yeah, like we both moved to New Mexico in like 7th grade. He moved from New Orleans. I moved from San Diego. And
Damn.
like we're from like Taos, New Mexico, which is like 5,000 people. Like it's a small ski town in the middle of the Rocky Mountains. Like, you know,
Damn.
so it's not a very big, not common, you know, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so I started making beats honestly because I would like play guitar on like John's beats. And then I just
No
kind of
way.
realized, I was like, oh, I could do this too, you know, sort of thing.
Bro, what the fuck?
That's
So that was
sick.
like how I started making hip hop.
Oh,
That's really cool that you
crazy
live
to
with
me.
someone though that's like on the same like wavelength as you. You guys like do the same thing, like
Yeah, well, you know, he doesn't play guitar, so it was like one of those things where
right. But
it
you're
was
still
like,
music.
well, no, that's what I mean. Like, it was like a cool thing where it was like I would play guitar and on his beats, and like, you know, we like made stuff that was like kind of like we were making like trap metal stuff like way before it was a thing. Like we were just kind of
That's
like
sick.
messing with it, like
yeah.
where I'd be like, oh, here's a riff I would write for like my mosh band, you know, and then he would be like, okay, here's like 808s I would put in my like rap stuff, and
Yeah,
it just
you're like
kinda,
putting in your parts. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sick.
But yeah, so like yeah, he produced like Zan started rapping like, you know, at our house and like on our
Oh.
couch and shit. Like, and then
What the fuck?
Huh.
yeah, he made Betrayed and all that stuff at our house, at our studio. Yeah.
Your house, which is your living room. I've seen videos.
Yeah, well, this was a different house. This was our garage at the time where we like.
so not
converted
even
to
a
a
living
studio.
room. You
It's
didn't
a
even let
garage.
Zan in the living room. You made Zan
Zan-
record Betrayed in your garage. Is that
This
what you're
was-
saying?
Go in
Yeah,
the basement
this is-
right now.
This was this is different house, different studio, So-
Garage.
but yeah,
Yeah.
so we made all that shit there.
It started. Some things start.
Well, it was
there.
a trip because like that was
Real.
the first time I ever like knew somebody that well that got that famous. You know, like
You talking
Yeah.
about John or Zan?
Zan.
Zan.
Okay.
John's a popular guy, but you know,
John and Zan seem like this.
Yeah, John has been Zan's engineer and like his DJ and like hype man and all that, and like produced a good chunk of his songs since the beginning. Like, so yeah, they're still super close. Like we're all still close. Like I'm still close with Zan. And we have like new music coming out and stuff.
You and Zan?
Yeah, I produced a bunch of Zan stuff, or like a bunch of it.
Crazy.
Fuck yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, because he started like, you know, just like at our studio and stuff. So we've kind of like just kept going. the
You
whole
made
time.
him record in the garage.
I love
There
that.
was no other place to record. That was
I'm
the
going
place.
to take this out of context.
That was the
and make it a
place.
thing.
That was. It wasn't like
a bit.
Suzanne, go record in the garage. while we
Go.
do real stuff.
You don't deserve my
No.
living room.
Yeah. Then he made a platinum song in the garage.
That's like
So-
so many
That's
stories.
That was
like
a
that,
that was a
though.
game changer for me because that was one of those things where it was like, oh, like anything's possible because
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
kid who was just taking pictures on
Really?
our couch, who's never rapped before in his life,
Right.
just made a song and like it's going like viral.
I've
you
heard
know?
that. I've heard he was a photographer
Yeah,
before
he was a
an artist.
photographer.
So he used to take pictures at our house, at our studio. That was like that's the story. That's like the origin thing of
How
it.
you knew him,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
And then he ended up in your garage.
Yeah.
And
then it
wasn't
was
he,
like-
he was taking pictures of Stephen Cannon.
Yeah, Steven
was
was
his
just
homie.
Steven's literally at my
Wait,
house right now.
really?
Like
Yeah.
yeah, Steven's at my house
Wait.
recording with John right now.
Okay. Keep talking. Sorry.
Yeah, well, like that was how me and Zan connected too, because he was like into emo and stuff too. So I was like, oh, this kid's into rap and he likes emo. That was like one of those things where it was kind of a like
It was a rarity.
It's a niche
it
thing,
was like
yeah.
a eureka thing where I was just like really starting to realize that.
Yeah.
Where I like
Yeah.
was actually starting to get beats placed because I made stuff that was like influenced from that.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
Zan kind of like was there at the early part of it where he was like, oh, you got like emo stuff. That's sick. Like I love Mike Kim and blah, blah. You know, where I was like, oh, this is like a common thing now with underground. But
Yeah.
rap like emo rap was like underground at that point, you
Yeah.
know? So it wasn't like it wasn't like a thought that like these artists are going to break the wall and, you know, become the most mainstream thing.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
And then that's like Cole Bennett met Zan at my house like before
the
they
fuck?
did before they did the
Oh.
Betrayed video. Like
Bro, what the fuck?
Damn.
yeah, like there's a picture. There's like a picture of it to prove that so
I
people
believe
know
you,
I'm not
bro.
bullshit.
He's like, let me prove
I
it.
believe you. Lyrical
So-
Lemonade, Cole Bennett.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lyrical Lemonade Cole
Yo,
Bennett.
I know y'all are in the same circle. I believe it.
Yeah, so it was that was crazy.
The first time I met John was like almost after the fact. Because I met you by accident with Nikki, our friend Nikki, at Swako's house.
Oh right. Yeah. Oh
Randomly-
yeah, that's
Wow.
right.
So I've known you way longer than anybody else
You
here.
have, yeah, you have, you
She
have.
flaked. By the way,
definitely have.
You
Powrice
know,
is the
I'm very
flakiest
flaky.
bitch in
If you
LA.
know me, I'm flaky as fuck. But
So she didn't come.
No one
but all her
deserves my
friends
energy.
Came, and I was the one driving. We all went to Swago's house, and that's when you and I met. And you were like talking about music. We were just talking. Me and Swago were talking music. I didn't say a word because I'm like, I don't belong here. It's like I'm just the driver. But yeah, no, you guys were talking. You were
the
talking
Uber
about-
with green hair.
Yeah, exactly what it was. Y'all were talking about the cool shit you were producing. And then a couple months later, y'all came to Hyperpunk. I don't know why. I felt like I was like, oh, I'll just invite you guys. And
Yeah, that was great.
And then I realized you and John were roommates.
Yeah.
And then we talked in person about like Broken Side and like Smarty. Because
Oh, yeah,
those
yeah.
are my boys.
Oh
y'all
yeah, I
from
let
New
you
Mexico.
know. I was like, oh yeah, bro, I run deep with that shit.
Yeah, dude, those are my boys. So then we connected, and then I was like, oh shit. Okay, we have a lot in
Never
common.
mind. They hit me up to make a song. I need to like respond back
Really?
and see if that it's a thing or not. If that's actually
Do
gonna
it
happen.
What
right
song
now.
was it?
Okay.
I don't know. They asked to do a new one, like maybe.
Just a song.
Anyways, yeah.
I just
yeah.
want to just give him like a crunk beat again and let him go crazy.
But
Yeah,
I would
so
say
we-
I think that's one thing that's really cool about Jordan, and me and Jordan have been friends for maybe like 6 months ish now, so it hasn't been like crazy long. But
Friends for half a year, acquaintances for a year.
yeah,
Kind
Okay.
of like all y'all actually.
but we
Yeah.
just connected very deeply. But I feel like that's something that Jordan's really good at doing is like meeting people, connecting with people, being like a genuine energy, and just like I don't know. It's something that I
Throwing
very
people in the
much
pot
admire
and let
you
them
for.
simmer and do
Oh,
what
yeah,
they
people
need.
Yeah.
could be you for Halloween. That's a
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
really positive character.
Yeah, for real.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, dude.
It's hit or miss.
It always amazes me. I'm much more withdrawn, you know. So I watch Jordan. I'm like, oh,
Some
wow,
people
he's
hate
so
me
good at
'cause I-
meeting people.
If I don't fuck with their energy, I tell them.
That's true. You do. I've seen you do
I
that
do.
too.
I flip
I've
out.
seen you do that too.
I've seen it.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah, I
man.
feel like you've seen it too.
Not that
Doesn't
I
matter.
noticed.
Good.
Not that it
Good,
takes something
good, good.
pretty
I feel like
dramatic
flip
for me
out.
to actually like be like, oh, this person's wild.
I
you know?
apologize.
No, when you do it, it's not like what. It's
Yeah,
just-
you don't flip out. You
No, you
just
don't
straight
flip
up.
I did once
Well, we all have
on Michael
done that.
Vampire.
Oh, damn.
But we made up.
Whoosh.
We're homies as fuck now.
That's good. That's
We're
good.
Yeah,
gonna see him
that's cool.
Friday. I know. We
mean,
talked about you.
you know.
We had Easter brunch, me and Michael together. We talked about you.
Easter brunch.
Wow.
So
we
wholesome.
literally did. But no, I was
So
like,
wholesome.
bro, I apologize. I was like, I'm so sorry, man. I was too far.
Yeah. Sometimes.
But it doesn't matter.
Whatever.
I think you were around. Maybe not. It doesn't matter. But I appreciate you for saying that, Cozy.
Yeah, dude. Of course.
No, you guys are real ones.
Everyone in this room has value, and I think that's why we're all here. So
Yeah.
100%.
yeah.
Even
Good point.
the person without a microphone.
Freya, she's just
Good point.
she's
Good point.
spectating. I'm spectator.
She's the homeowner who's a spectator.
When you spectate on Call of Duty, when you die, it's her right now. Like Nuketown spectating type shit.
So have you been making music, pal?
No,
Great question.
You should, yeah, that's what I want to know.
Interrogate her. Talk more. Talk to her.
dude.
Because you clearly can sing a little bit.
Yes. Tell me. Okay.
He said a little bit.
Well, I mean, I've heard you like sing a couple things, and I was like,
Just
oh,
as a
that
joke.
was you hit the notes.
Call her
I was
out.
like,
Oh.
Call her out, bro.
I don't know. I mean,
Take this mic away.
I feel like the people that I'm close with, I feel like Mariah, I've even maybe talked about this with you, is like, I love music so much. And like, I grew up listening to Motown. Like, that was like what I listened to. So I started from like the beginning of it all. And then like, I started from the beginning of like rock music. And then I don't know, I just love music. I've always wanted to make music, but I never thought that it was my place to do that. I felt like if I don't do it, there's more space for people who belong. I don't know. So I feel that way.
it's
I would love
easier-
to try.
it's easier than people make it out to be.
Yeah, and I think I also think about that sometimes too, which makes me think that could give it a try and have fun with it.
I mean, it's
Just
also
like
really
when
hard too.
when I started OnlyFans, it was a joke. When I started OnlyFans, it was a joke. So maybe I just do that again and see what happens.
Just
Music
you know
is a
what
joke.
you know what a good,
To me,
honestly,
no.
sometimes some of the best stuff kind of is made out of humor.
Situation.
Like if you the best way to tell is like if you just play like an instrumental or something you like and just try like
you trying to
mumbling.
make a song, bro? Trying to make a song? No, I'm good.
Let's do it.
you know Stephanie, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Lucifina?
no,
Stephanie?
no,
Oh,
she
different
opium.
No. Oh,
No.
she is opium.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Like one of my best
Yeah, we
friends.
made song. Yeah,
Yeah, you
we
guys like made a
songs.
beat
Yep,
together,
yep.
and then it didn't happen. But I'm like, I'm down. I just want to have fun. So like, if it happens, it happens.
You
But
just wants
I
to
do
have
love
fun.
music. Yeah.
If you
I
can
would
like
say, I feel
hum,
like if you made a song and just like had fun with it, I think you'd make something
Yeah.
that could be kind of
if you
cool.
could like
you
just
guys are.
if you could just hum melodies over an instrumental and it like sound like something, that's enough. Then you
Okay.
can like then you can write and sing. You know,
For now.
You know what?
TikTok
You don't-
famous.
you don't have to like
Let's try it. This is the
Yeah.
proof that I wanted to try it. And this podcast is.
you
the
don't
proof.
have to like shoot to make the best thing you've ever anyone's ever
You don't have
heard.
to make fucking Prince.
You just kind of have to have fun with it.
like you can make.
Shout out Georgia.
You can just make
And J-Lo.
music. You don't have to make something like
Just make something.
make something.
Yeah,
And
if
then
you
it
just make
turns
something,
into
if you just
something.
make something and
Whatever
you
speaks to
like
you.
listening to it, then just maybe other people will like listening
I'd be
to
down.
it too.
I've even talked about this with you. Like, I'm
Do
open to the
background
idea.
vocals.
I think what I do want is that I've always like really, really loved music, and it would be a really cool thing if I did try it at least. And like,
Yeah,
I'm
you
around
should.
people constantly who are just making music.
Yeah,
and
even if you have like your friend who writes songs or something help you write a song,
Yeah.
you know, like you have a look and stuff. Like
One of
you
your
would be a
friends
good-
who make
I could just like pretend like I would
charting songs
know how
in
to.
the room
Yeah.
that you're always with. Like, name one.
Like,
And
yeah, my
literally-
friends have won Grammys
Yeah,
and
no,
been
it could be.
nominated.
Sure,
You know,
it
just
could be.
chilling.
It could be me, but I know you have a lot of like you have no shortage of talented music.
We'll see.
musicians
Maybe it's
around
what
you,
I'm supposed to
songwriters
do.
around
Maybe
you?
it's not. But I'm
I
open
feel
to
like
any
it's-
possibility.
I feel like it's willingness and comfortableness above everything.
Yeah.
They
It's-
get in your room. I've never been to your house, but I assume it's the same. You and John, the same as your place. It's like if you're willing, like
Yeah.
either one of you could make it sound good enough,
Yeah.
and
100%.
you
Oh,
run it
yeah,
up
yeah.
because the two
Yeah,
of
for
y'all
sure.
make hits. That's what you do. People are comfortable. You run it up.
There's a lot of bands that couldn't do it without their producers, and then they made bangers
man.
because of them.
The
Like,
the
So I get
producer
the idea.
rabbit hole, or like the amount of like guarded information on who sucks and who doesn't,
Right.
and like how much work
Yeah.
goes into like
People make things happen for other people. It's just
Yeah.
the you know.
is wild.
Yeah.
Like wild.
Jordan's like, I'm going crazy.
Like there's like this person can't sing, this person can't. I
Yeah.
like did everything. I tuned that. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
There's definitely
Yeah.
which is one of those things like it's not good to talk about because it would really ruin your career. But
Yeah.
it's out there for
I
sure.
want to kiss
I mean, we
you,
know
but
those
you-
things
but you
exist.
I say that out of encouragement to you, like where it's
Yeah.
like people you really look up to and probably think are like super geniuses are probably like really aided, by production and engineering and stuff.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
like you could just like la da 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 a melody
Right.
over a beat and
Just
have
something.
a songwriter be like, okay, you said la da da da, let's make that like I am not a and like turn
right.
it into a
Just
song.
it's a sentence, whatever.
Yeah.
You just sing the melody and then it just happens.
it's pretty it can be fun, it doesn't have to be like
I feel like
this high-stress
those kind of things. I feel like it would be fun just because I feel like when you do those kind of things and you're in the room working on it, it just kind of works itself out. When you're like with people who are also like creative and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I feel like that it just ends up happening. And I'm down to just have
Yeah.
fun with it, but we'll see.
Yeah, you just kind of
Maybe Morgoth, Powrice, Hair Jordan, Cozy, collab
Right
on
here.
one song.
No, you can only have 3 names as
You
like
guys could be the vocalist and we'll produce the track.
according to
and then we'll
Spotify.
make
There
the
can only
song
be
name
3
like
artists
really like
that share
probably
the-
like 20 or 30 words long.
Yeah.
Like,
so
that'd be
you can
legendary.
really- you can really harness that scene thing.
Yeah, because people will be like,
Yeah.
"Why is this song so fucking long?" That's a news article in itself. What's wrong with this person?
Be some like random thing that doesn't
I
make
set
it
my house on
vampires.
fire and then I walked my dog and
Yeah.
then just period. I don't know, some random shit,
Vampires suck blue blood in the winter
Yeah.
behind the woods or something. ridiculous.
but I ran into the forest and then I set the forest on fire. I don't know, just random.
I set the forest on fire
Yeah,
with red fire.
Not I set my friends on fire. I set the forest on fire.
It has to be like half-ass poetic too, though. It has to be
Yeah.
like,
Fun fi-
it has to be like, I set my house on fire just to watch it burn with my girlfriend. Or
Yeah,
something like
exactly.
that,
With my dog.
like there has to be like an airiness of like
Tofu.
it's
It's like almost like
stuck-up poet.
specific and like poetic.
Yeah, exactly.
At the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like what's the Devil Wears Prada song? Dogs grow hair all over. That's a good
Oh,
one.
okay.
And then it has nothing to do with what the song's actually about.
Yeah, it's like
That's always
perfect.
best.
Oh, I know. I saw them play in a barn with this other band.
I love that
called
shit. It's like
Blessed by a Broken
That was
Heart.
like that
Yeah.
was like a trend for a while.
Yeah, you ever heard
it's that
Blessed by a Broken
irony
Heart?
shit.
Yeah.
They
You
disappeared for a decade.
Blessed by a Broken Heart? Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know what? They're back.
They're back. Dude, the guitar player rips. What's his name? Sean?
Sean!
Yeah. I know Sean. Yeah,
Not
I know
anymore.
Sean.
His new name was Brandon. We saw him last night walking her dog Tofu.
yeah.
He was like, hey, Jordan. They were like, I play in this band. It's called Blessed by a Broken Heart. I was like, bro, I have a t-shirt. Let me show you.
I used to watch him play in a barn in
I saw him
Indiana.
play with Devil Wears Prada. Dogs grow beards all over. And Blessed carry on. We will carry on. Like,
Yeah.
literally.
They were like the hair metal band of like the sceney metalcore bands,
Yo, what
like
did I just say?
I mean, like when you
that was
showed me
their
them,
thing.
I was like,
if you knew that band, that's their thing.
they're like
right?
a
16 hours
80s,
ago. That's literally.
80s emo meets.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. It was like an
just 80s
updated,
emo.
like
With
it was
mullets,
like hair metal fused with emo is like
Yeah.
essentially what that
That's
was.
crazy.
Tony Gambino, if you're still alive, I know you're not the current
Man.
singer, but come through.
Blessed by a Broken Heart.
Leave
My friend,
Canada.
who showed me that? My friend Finn showed me that. Have you seen the Punk Rock NBA YouTube channel?
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
Yeah, so yeah, he that's how I met Sean.
Shout out
Dude,
Finn.
I fuck with that channel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Cool.
been my homie for like 12 years. or
Really?
something like that. Yeah,
Damn.
he's like a really
Damn.
good friend of
Go
mine.
way
That's
back.
sick.
And he's
That's sick.
You know
killing
everyone,
it.
bro.
Dude, it's a small world. If you stay in the scene long enough,
really
you
is.
eventually like people you knew become successful at something, you know, and then like
Yeah.
other people are like, oh, you know this person, and you're just like,
Yeah, time just makes shit happen.
It's usually when people quit that like that's when nothing's gonna happen.
Literally,
you know?
that's
Yeah.
what it is.
But if you
bro.
just
It's
like
just quitting.
if you just arrogantly or just like stubbornly just stick with it, you'll get somewhere. You'll get past 0. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
literally, man.
that's the
Damn.
best. You just try.
Well, how
Gotta get
about-
past 0.
How about Eat Me While I'm Hot? Where'd they go? You know,
Where? Dang,
Eat
I
Me
haven't
While
heard
I'm
that
Hot?
in a
Yeah.
long time.
Woo!
Forgot about
wanna
Eat Me
hear
While
this.
I'm Hot.
He heard that band more
I
recently
forgot
than
about
Eat
that.
Me
That
While I'm
was
Hot.
like MySpace.
Yeah. Yeah.
As I remember, they were on like some like post-hardcore MySpace
You-
playlist.
who's the lead singer of Eat Me While I'm Hot?
I do not know. I couldn't give you the.
Should I divulge some information?
I
I'm
couldn't
going to
do
teach Morgoth Beat something right now.
Oh man, I
It
could
is
not give you the lore.
Mr. Christopher Drew from Never Shout Never.
Oh really? I
Yeah,
didn't know
he used to be in like a screamo like like Eat Me While I'm Hot
Well.
is definitely harder than I'm in trouble.
They released an entire album that was unmastered because it was definitely 12 decibels quieter than every other album.
So it's so quiet. I'll play it on my speaker and I'll play like I don't fucking know like a Nothing Nowhere song and then
Yeah.
next thing is like Eat Me While I'm Hot and I'm
God,
like
I love
I can't
Nothing
even
Nowhere,
I
too.
can't even yeah
Joe
dude
is so good.
Pieces of You
So crazy.
Aaron like did such a good job on that song. That song is just so good. I don't know if you know that song, but
Yes,
it's-
I do know. Yeah,
That song is so
I'm
fucking.
a big fan. I love
that song
Nothing
is so
Nowhere.
good. But anyway, yeah, even Mom Hot, they're great. I wish they made more music. Sad. I hate
Down
my
the
life.
rabbit hole of MySpace scene bands.
Yeah, we'll just go down the list right now. You named one, I named one.
Oh
Well-
man.
Crazy. Should we call it?
Yeah, are we done here? We cutting it?
Podcast.
Direct-
Yeah, I
Director?
don't know. Do you have any more questions? You want to end it?
I mean, I
I'm
think it's
down.
actually better. Is there anything else you want to say? You can give a shout out
Okay.
to somebody. You can
Wait,
say something you're
I feel like
excited
it's fun.
about.
Yeah, say
anything you
shout
want
out,
to
shout out.
plug. You know,
And then I'll
You
say
feel like
some
we
fucked up
missed?
questions. Do your
an
shout outs first.
inspirational quote from Morgoth Beats. Like,
oh man, I don't know if I got any of that. What else? I'm just trying to think of what I have that like I should talk about that I'm gonna be upset if I don't say right
Yeah.
now.
yeah.
Okay, what did I produce recently? Okay, I just produced a new Left to Suffer album that's coming soon.
Awesome.
Wait, really?
Yes, it's good.
God
Shut
It's
your
real
phone
good.
off because it's gonna die. I don't need to look at your co-star that
Yeah,
much.
thank-
God
right?
damn.
Well, you're looking at his co-star while he's like,
Yeah.
It's been on for like 3
Yeah, I didn't
hours.
even pay- yeah, I was just like,
yeah, I produced Left.
Anyway.
Look
Yeah.
at my wolf tattoo on my half moon.
Yep.
You're like, co-star.
You're a Libra
Oh
sandwich.
yeah, I guess I didn't talk about.
Anyway.
It doesn't really matter.
Anyways.
My wolf tattoo went viral again.
Yeah,
That's a
it
thing.
did.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
It's been
Got-
going viral for
got-
like a long time now. I feel like
the last 2 days it went viral on TikTok again. And
Fuck.
it got 1 million views on some other page, and then it got 2 million views on my page.
just do like one TikTok live stream and just talk about like,
I did one yesterday.
oh, you do go live on TikTok.
I did it. That was the first time. That was the first time
Oh.
I've ever
Damn,
done
that's
it.
What
crazy.
the fuck? Okay, we've been talking because we're like, bro, literally, me and Pao, like, we get made fun of. We're like,
Yeah.
everyone who knows us makes fun of us for
Yeah.
being TikTokers. And we're like, we need friends who encourage us.
Yeah.
And we're like, so let's do it together. And when we did it, we were like literally trending on TikTok last week because we were like, no one's making, it's a safe
Yeah.
space.
Right.
If you're like,
Maybe
don't make
you-
fun of us, but like, if
Oh,
you're ever
you
down,
need
like,
help
we're
with
down, let's
TikTok.
run it.
Yeah, I would say
We
you
got
guys
you.
could probably because here's my thing where I find myself in a funny position where this thing keeps going viral and everything like associated keeps going viral. Like it got like 20 million views on my Instagram, and then like every other
Yeah.
tattoo page that posts it gets millions of views. I get it.
I think
Some
I
people
saw
hate
it when you first. I don't know if you had those tattoos like before I knew you.
No.
But
yeah, I had one. I had this one.
You had one of them.
I had this one. Yeah.
It was blowing up before I even knew you.
Yeah.
And that was 2.5 years ago.
Yeah,
over
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So it's been a while where it's just consistently blowing up.
Yeah.
So like
I don't know what to do
it's
because
wow
like
factor.
I don't know what to do with it. Where it's like I could just respond to people talking shit to me
Mhm.
in comments and just, but at the same time, I think that's so lame
Yeah.
that like I don't want, even if that would bring me like more followers and attention.
You mean like talking shit back or something like
yeah,
that?
like I
Right.
feel
Feeding
like I
into
would feel
it.
like the Island
Yeah.
Boys or something like that, you know,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
Like Ronnie on TikTok, like fuck you, I'm cool as fuck.
I think it's fun. I think it's funny when Ronnie
I think
does
it's
it
so
a lot
funny.
of times, but
I think it's great.
I think like having like a production career like at the same time. Like I don't need to do that.
That's why I'm like,
Where-
I think that like if you educate people and use that platform to like teach people how to like do the simple, easy things, because people always will like look up like, you know, if they're interested in music at all, like what are the most basic things you could teach them? How to make a loop, how to like whatever those things are. You could just literally like make like 30-second videos like doing those things.
That's a good.
You know what a loop is?
It's a good idea.
What the fuck?
I don't fucking know.
She's heard the terminology.
Right.
But
I'm around you guys all the fucking time.
Yeah,
in
that's
a great
my,
way. I'm happy about it. But
That's my thing with it, where it's like the obvious thing to do would just be to try and milk it, but also people who make like tattoos their whole personality, I find that to be kind of cringe too.
Yeah.
right. That's
Where
why you
it's
can
like-
move away from it. Use that as your gateway to other content. You know,
Yeah.
like you could use your tattoos, that video that blew up, to other stuff. Like I used my like big video, I guess, to do like hair stuff and that's what I really wanted to do.
I feel like audio and production stuff is just such a nerdy niche too at the same time, where stuff can go viral with it. It's not nearly as much. I just need to like do TikTok more. It's just
we could figure
also, it's not
something
even
out.
just TikTok. Like, I mean, it's all of it. You know, you got to do it on YouTube Shorts and it's been going crazy on YouTube Shorts for me
it
too.
really has.
Just got to post it on all the things. But yeah, I just kind of like, I just started like shit posting on TikTok because it's like I don't know what else to do. Like, I can make guitar videos.
See, I wish I could be like
guess.
that. I don't even have the balls to like shit post because I'm like, if it's not gonna blow up, I'm gonna like go throw myself off a bridge. Like,
But that's how it works, though. After a certain point, you get a reputation like you have, where it's like, oh wait, people know you. Like you've influenced people's lives, or like I want to be you. And so
Yeah,
now
just like
have to
you.
Be careful on specifically that one platform. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean,
But I feel like,
they
honestly though, I feel like for you guys, it might be that way with music, but probably maybe not.
No, yeah. Where it's interesting because I don't really care if I'm known for the I didn't expect the tattoo to go crazy. I just thought it looked cool. Like it really doesn't get much deeper than that. And I think people really like I get it.
There's
Like
two wolves inside of you.
yeah, I guess I just have had a lot more like experiences in my life with really successful people with face tattoos and are heavily tattooed that it wasn't weird to me or like that shocking. And I get that to other people it is, and it's kind of funny to me now watching
It is,
people
yeah.
argue over like whether it's cool or not. You know, where that's just like funny.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you find that one thing, like you have your like niche, like I don't even know how to explain it, but you find like one thing where you know everyone will like it. You kind of make something else that has that incorporated into it, but it's not the entire like thing.
I should just start making thirst traps, huh? That's
Just
probably,
do it.
That's-
Just fucking do it.
Is that the
But
real
like do
answer?
it while you
I'll
make
repost-
music.
I'll reshare.
I'll
Let me
fucking
know.
I'll repost it. Fuck. I'll be a
Tell
part
me
of
what
it. We'll
you
be
need.
like on TikTok.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start learning the dances.
Yeah. That'd
Hell
be
yeah,
sick.
bro. That'd be crazy.
Guy that produces so and so does like
Probably
the
like just-
most popular TikTok
Probably just
dance.
ruined my career. Like people, artists who see that, like, oh, we're not working with him.
Yeah.
Like, this is good.
Honestly,
That's
it would probably be the opposite. Real talk.
They're like, I respect you.
Oh, man.
Everyone worships TikTok way more than they should.
Yeah,
That's my
it's-
perspective.
It's crazy. TikTok is a whole nother topic of
Yeah,
a different
low-key,
episode.
The YouTube Shorts thing, like every time I post anything, I
That's
just post it on all the other ones, and I feel like maybe the YouTube Short thing they like reward people because I posted that video on YouTube Shorts and it just went like bonkers, like right
Yeah,
away.
dude.
That's crazy.
We literally
I've never posted a YouTube short ever.
DJ Hunts, he came to Hyperpunk 3 days ago. He drove us there. 8 million on TikTok.
And I've seen him before for sure.
I bet you if you posted like your TikTok stuff to just do your YouTube Shorts, same video, like don't even change anything,
Yeah,
like
that's
you
it.
would probably
Yeah.
gain traction
That's it.
there
And
too.
those
That's what
videos are
Hunter
not
did.
necessarily new anymore.
It
Like,
doesn't matter.
I know. That's why it's like I could just
It's new to
reuse,
YouTube.
recycle.
All
It's
the
new.
old
It's new
ones.
to YouTube Shorts.
Right. Yeah. We actually made our my first YouTube video since I was 12. So that should be coming out soon, actually. Maybe.
Sounded weird to say it that way, but
Well, no, on my own. Like, you know, I used to have a YouTube when I was like a kid doing the emo cuts and, you know, it was like 2013, whatever. But anyway, this is going to be my first YouTube video in 10 years, I guess. So it's going to be cool. I'm excited.
So the other day, this TikToker, DJ Hunts, he has like 8 million followers. Been on like Dr. Phil. Literally taught Dr. Phil how to do TikTok on the show. Like picked us up, drove us to Hyperpunk. And then he told us while he was driving us, he was like, "Hey, I started literally reposting my TikToks to YouTube Shorts, and I have 1 million followers almost now, like within like really short amount of time. Literally what you just said."
Well, there you go. That's the answer.
Crazy.
But yeah, maybe you guys can help me with TikTok because I don't know what to do.
I'll help you.
I guess I should probably just play
Still
guitar.
gotta teach me how to DJ, dude. Remember that? I don't know if you're. I was
yeah.
like, hey, teach me how to DJ.
Did you
That
see
was a
what
lot.
do DJs actually do? You know,
Huh?
have you seen that Madeline? Right, that's her. She has that viral video going on now where it's like, what do DJs even do? And like all these DJs are making remixes of it.
It's just like pressing a button.
Yeah, exactly. That's all.
Boop, boop, boop. I mean, I love music. I just want to start somewhere. So, DJ, TikTok, exchange. Let's go.
Just
Just
you
an
can
exchange of
la-di-da some
knowledge.
melodies. You should just be an artist. That would probably be the best thing that you could do.
What kind of artist? Like I just draw shit.
No, just like make do la-di-das over like some like breakbeaty like hyper like
just
pop,
something like a
sceney
feature.
stuff.
Just a
Just like
do,
make
do,
song,
do,
like,
do, do. Just do that in a song on someone else's track, and then
Yeah.
I'm like popular all of a sudden. Just do that.
I could see you being a popular artist if you have someone. I have to
Maybe one
do
day.
man. That you just reminded me. Like I need to post more on BeatStars.
Well, we all
unplugged
got to
my mic,
post
but-
more everywhere. I know I do. I know you do.
Morgoth.
I know.
The thing too is like I find myself like only producing to where I wish I did TikTok and stuff more,
Yeah.
but like I just like don't fucking have time.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Right.
what am I gonna do? Like, am I gonna take the day off and not produce like for this artist, you know, who's dope?
And honestly,
to
like if
do
you
it?
don't want to do it, if you don't feel like a pull to do it, don't do it. You're gonna be forcing
Yeah.
yourself, and it doesn't come
I
naturally.
wanna-
Like
I want to do it. I
Oh,
just
okay.
don't want to. I just don't want to do what I know is gonna work.
I see. I understand that.
Wait, what's
I
the
understand
hang-up? The editing?
No, not the editing at all.
The
Yes,
concepts
yes.
that he knows
It's-
that will work, he doesn't want to do
It's
because it
people
might.
like negative.
Genuinely, I
People
want to know.
people like negative stuff.
Yeah.
Like in general, like humans are definitely more navigated towards negative stuff. So if I were to just like respond to the comments of people saying like telling me to kill myself or getting my face tattooed
Yeah.
type of stuff, I've done it before and those do pretty good. Like where I know if I just kept doing that, I don't have a shortage of comments of that, you know. And then other people who are like the opposite, who say like they love it, but then it's just I don't know. There's just an air of corniness to it that I just can't.
That's
see.
why I stopped.
And it's not TikTok in general. It's just this specific thing. It's
Yeah.
just giving people my energy who are like talking shit to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the thing I have the hang up about, where it's like it'd be easy where for me to be like, oh, look at me, like I have like plaques and like, well, I'm successful.
I mean, you don't
blah,
have
you
to
know.
like give them like a negative type of content. You can give them like a positive type, and if they reply with like negativeness, then
That's not a bad idea. Maybe
'Cause-
I should do it in
well,
like
you
an
can-
overly
Understand
positive.
how
Yeah.
you
you
feel
can
that
try.
way.
You can try two
It's
ways.
like, you make a good point, man. I'm just gonna go fucking cut this off my face. Like, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
no,
I
like, you
never
can
thought
make
about it before,
you
dude.
can-
You're right. Like, good job. Thank you.
Like
you
you can
helped
make
my
a
life.
TikTok
This
video
does
and like be
look
positive
bad.
about whatever the content is, and like just see how people react to it. Or you could make a negative video if you think that's gonna work. But honestly, like I try to make positive content on my TikTok, and like thankfully people like. There's some people that are like, oh, you're a fucking poser, like you're just a kid, blah blah blah. But also there's like a group of people that are like, thank you for like reviving what like I was never able to do, or like I couldn't live on like doing what you're doing
Holy
right now. And it's like if you just like do it positively, then maybe people will reply positively. If they don't, then they don't, and then don't do it. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's fine. Either way,
I
I'll
don't
figure
know.
it out. That's good advice, though.
TikTok
I will
is TikTok.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
do
know.
that. I'm definitely gonna try what you just told me for
Yeah.
sure.
We'll figure it out.
Currently, I don't have a shortage of comments, so I'm just gonna pick a couple
Right.
and just see what happens.
Yeah.
I
Good
do, 'cause
idea.
I'm not
Pick some
posting.
good ones.
Should probably play guitar. I should play Angels of Debauchery on TikTok, though.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Angels of Debauchery
The
on
guitar
TikTok.
content is going off right now on TikTok, though.
but I know so many good guitar players where it's like that's hard for me to post too, because it's like I'm not saying I'm a bad guitar player. I'm pretty good,
Nah, bro.
but
You're good. You're legend.
But there's
Thank
a lot
you.
of really
But I know what you're
bad
gonna
people
say.
on
I know what you're gonna
TikTok.
say.
but
Like,
I
like-
make music like for like with Polyphia, like
Yeah.
with Tim Henson and stuff,
Yeah.
you know, and like
Yeah.
playing guitar with him or like Javier from Animals as leaders and stuff.
Yeah.
Playing guitar with those people will make you like not. You'll be like,
Yeah.
I ain't shit
You're
because like
I'm not good at this thing.
yeah, because these motherfuckers.
I mean, Tim
are
is like
crazy.
literally insane. Like he's not even like human. So
Yeah,
that's
he's
just
not
like
human, yeah.
don't even like include him.
but it's like it's one of those things where it's like I'm so lucky to get to like work with a genius like that. You know,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
he says the same thing too. He's very nice, humble too. You know, he like,
Yeah.
thinks highly of me too. But it's with guitar stuff. That to me is just almost like kind of the bar
Yeah,
where it's
I know
like
what you
I've
mean.
like set the bar too high for myself to where.
Yeah.
Posting anything for guitar related, I'm almost just like if I'm not playing like some ridiculously crazy thing, I almost don't even want to do it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Kind of was that with TikTok too. I'm just like if I'm not doing it like really crazy, then I'm just like I'm over
Yeah.
it and I haven't posted in so long.
I'm
'cause of
better
that.
at writing songs than shredding. I'll say that.
Who is
like,
your favorite artist that you've written for?
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, Juice is legitimately my favorite rapper. So
How did that happen?
so me and my friend Perps made the beat. And
I've never met
Perps. He's from 808 Mafia.
never met Perps.
Super good homie of mine, and
Sick.
Amazing producer. You know, like just insanely good. So his
Cozy, do you know Perps?
No, but I mean,
Okay.
I know like 808
Perps
Mafia.
on the beat, yeah.
Just check it.
Yeah,
Cozy
yeah.
knows a lot
he
of
did a bunch of songs on
Like by name, but not.
he did a
like-
bunch of songs on Death Race for Love.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
did
yeah.
Okay.
he did like
That's fine.
he did like Cupid's Chokehold. He did Hear Me Calling, stuff like that.
Damn.
But anyways,
I just feel like y'all have so
Yeah,
many
he did
mutuals
that.
you don't know that y'all have. I'm like, why do I know both of y'all, but you don't know each other yet? Anyways,
Yeah.
that's why I asked. But keep talking.
so anyways, me and Perps made the beat, and Juice's main engineer Max Lord is also a member of 808 Mafia. So Perps, we got the beats to Max Lord, and then we went and like Juice made the song, and it was super awesome because again like he was in like all the same stuff we were in, like
yeah.
the influences, and also it was just like for me, even before he died, like he was my favorite because usually people who are good at rapping, like really good at rapping, like the battle rap, like freestyle stuff,
Yeah.
aren't good songwriters. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's shredding guitar players with
Yeah.
writing songs too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a
Very
freestyle
rare
is
quality
different than laying down like a actual
song.
word to word
Song,
thing.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you get so caught up in like the technical proficiency of it, you forget like you're making a song. And Juice was like one of the only people who was like really good at both. Where he could sing really well and he could write songs really well and he could rap really well. Where he could actually like kind of superhuman.
Dude,
it
I
all
watch
into
his
one.
freestyles all the time still.
Yeah, where it's
So
just like
good. Yeah.
as good as anybody's ever been.
Yep.
And
yep.
but he could like channel that like and make songs like that where he could just freestyle song ideas. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
rare to have like an understanding of both those disciplines, and I
That's
don't think
crazy.
anyone else like does. Like so if anyone who would be like, oh, like not a real rap, blah blah,
Yeah.
I would argue that very strong. I have a portrait tattoo of him, like I really fuck with Juice
Oh my
WRLD.
gosh, that's actually really
Also, like,
fucking good.
Bro, like
That's
changed my life.
sick.
Like I produced a Juice WRLD song and it was like went number one. First time I've worked on anything that was number one.
Yeah.
It's like I gotta work on like this generation's like in
Foundation,
utero
yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like Death Race for Love is like an in utero sort
Right,
of
100%.
yeah,
for Nirvana,
totally is.
Nirvana like sort
That's
of
a
thing.
really cool tattoo. Actually, it's really good.
Yeah.
Well done.
So
Tattoo.
I'll say,
insane.
I'm gonna say Juice for sure because that
Yeah.
feels the most special at the
Yeah,
point.
dude. Rest in peace. Dude.
Y'all
Yeah.
never met Cozy.
Huh?
You never met Juice.
No, but I actually saw him perform like back in the day. Like he performed at this like it was like a small event. I actually have two kind of, they're not very long, but kind of interesting stories about Juice WRLD. But he has, I haven't checked in a long time, but after he had passed, one of my fans DM'd me on Instagram with a screenshot that one of my songs is in his likes.
Oh, that's awesome.
So my biggest song that I wrote and produced
See,
completely by
Damn.
myself is in Juice WRLD's likes, but it was like pre-Lucid Dreams.
oh, that's really
so
cool.
he was actually
Oh,
listening
wow.
to
That's really
me
cool.
pre-Lucid Dreams, etc., and then just whatever, just never unliked my song.
That's
Yeah.
really insane. That's
Hey,
cool.
Hey,
But-
I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is why I was trying to be like not weird about it, but I was like, y'all know each other or not? Because I feel like y'all like
Synchronicities, I guess.
synchronicity. Y'all in the same sphere.
There's definitely some synchronicities
You guys,
there.
like
Yeah.
He
you
has
two.
directly worked with people. I have, but not as much as you have. for
Well, I've
sure,
seen
but
because I hang out with you in person
yeah.
a lot, and I see the shit that people are like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then you, like, obviously it's like you, whatever, both. So I'm like, you guys should know each other, but you don't. So
You know each other now. That's all that matters.
Today is the day you all know each other.
matters.
Now we know each
That's all that
other.
matters now.
So,
Moving on
We'll
from
make it a
here,
hit.
you guys
and
know
people
each
will
other.
be like, oh, that's where they met.
Yeah.
I just want to validate what he's saying right now. I'm like, yo, I'm getting the chills. But
Yeah.
I want you to keep talking.
No, dude, yeah. But that was like really special to me because also a Juice WRLD fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, like super inspired. Like
Aren't
I've
we
always
all?
loved watching like freestyle videos.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me to watch his freestyles because it's literally what you're saying is like it's so hard to even distinguish between like his freestyles and him actually making like a song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can only
That's so
imagine
rare.
the amount of vocals and stuff that they have of him freestyling.
Yeah, that's
and
why
they could
he's, like,
probably
the
make
only one.
albums on albums on albums with hooks and
Yeah.
'cause he would just
That's
write
why he's the only one who can keep releasing posthumous stuff like that.
he would just write 3 hooks in a song and like which one's the hook? It's like I don't even know. It's like
Mhm.
what you know what I'm saying? Like but yeah, so that
Yeah.
was really cool. And then I
Yeah.
did see him perform like it was like right after like All Girls Are the Same was like blowing up, but it was
Mhm.
pretty early and it was in some warehouse in like downtown
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever. But it was like definitely like kind of early
I
on.
saw. Was it like what was the name of the event? I forgot, but they used to throw events all the time. I saw him at
I
a
think
warehouse
it was the
downtown
Ham on
too.
Everything
Ham on
event.
everything. Thank you. Yeah, Adam.
And
I saw that
it
too.
was
I was there too.
was the event-
shit! I get texts to this day about
it was the event that he only played like 2 or 3 songs and then
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
sound was fucked up and he dipped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember he played
Yeah.
like 2 songs, 3 songs. Yeah,
But that was special to me personally. And then you know he obviously passed away, but it was like I mean to be able to say that you've seen Juice WRLD live is like you
yeah,
know,
cool.
that's
Especially in
crazy-
a warehouse, you know.
Yeah, and so you know exactly what that was like in that environment. It
Yeah.
was very raw.
Yeah, like
You know what I mean?
that was
even only playing 2 or 3 songs or whatever it was, that was raw too.
yeah, that was
You know what I
like when
mean?
it was like underground and cool.
Oh, yeah,
Still,
that
like it
was-
was like everyone was in on like
everyone was
everyone
packed
was
in
in on
that
a
place.
secret.
Dude, that shit was packed.
Everyone was in on like a little
It was
secret.
packed.
Then
yeah.
that was what it was like with Suicide Boys too, because I saw
Yeah.
Suicide Boys in the same sort of
Facts,
context
Facts.
where it was like, oh wow, this is about to be crazy, you know?
And I haven't found something like that recently. I don't know if you have, but I haven't found something like those those ham parties and things felt very special back then. Like, bro, I remember seeing like there was this one. It was like it was Xavier Wolf, Corbin,
Yeah.
who obviously went by Spooky Black. Back
Yep,
in the day,
yep.
Xavier Wolf, and then it was Tommy Genesis, and then it was Peep,
Wow,
and then it
yeah.
was Tracy, and it was oh god, who else performed? I don't even remember, but it was like
Yeah.
what lineup is that?
It was
That's
like
a
a-
legendary lineup, and nobody even knew.
Yeah, it was like a scene,
Yeah,
you know, which
yeah.
is funny because that's what I was like saying earlier, where it's like the most underground, whatever's
Yeah.
the coolest thing in the underground
Yeah.
is gonna crack eventually. Like
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
is gonna crack the ceiling
Someone's
because
gonna crack it.
it's like
Because they're all pushing for like the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like it has
Yeah.
to eventually
And-
break the mold. Like,
and it's one of those things too. I feel like ideas are just like in the air and they're not really
Yeah.
belong to one person. If you like sleep on an
It almost feels
idea,
like a
someone else
collective
will come and grab it,
consciousness.
you know?
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
like everyone was kind of into the same shit at the same time and like
Yeah.
going in like a direction. Not necessarily, I don't think no one really was predicting that it was going to take over music,
No.
but eventually
I still
kind
feel
of
like
did.
people have like a problem with it, right? It's like a SoundCloud rap.
Older-
like,
yeah.
all this stuff. There's still
Older-
a problem with about it.
That was how I knew it was good, was when all the older rap fans were
Yeah.
like hated it.
yeah.
And I was like, this is going to be ginormous because whatever kids like when the older generation
Yeah.
rejects it and hates it,
yeah.
it always takes. That happened that way with
because people
metalcore.
are talking.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it
we're
happened that
talking
way
about
with
it.
metalcore. A lot of people I don't think remember, and deathcore. Like
Yeah.
when Wins was like first popping, like we're deathcore to like death metal fans and stuff like that, and like metalcore to death,
Yeah.
like more like true metal, whatever, fans, like was just the lamest thing ever. And eventually the bands keep going. The older fans like age out to where they stop caring about like, new music.
Yeah.
And like the
Yeah.
bands get big enough to where like, what are you going to do? You can't kill this.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
now it's like kids just take over, and I felt like it
Yeah.
was like that with emo rap too, where
Yeah.
it was like all the emo rap, like trap metal, dark trap, whatever, that whole
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
All the older fans who are like Lyrical Miracle, like
Yeah.
rap fans, were like, they're not even rapping, bro. Like that eventually kids like drown them out.
Yeah. It's crazy. But then you know what I think is cool is like you still get lines like Corday, Corday's crazy.
Yeah. He walks
But-
both.
but
Bones is like that too. Bones can rap his
Bones
ass
can
off.
rap.
You know.
Bones can rap. But like, you know, it's funny. It's like I know, and I'm sure this song was like made a bit ago, regardless. But did you see the new like Cole Bennett drop with Corday? And
Yeah,
and
that was
Juice?
cool.
That was so sick. And like, I love the line that it was Juice who had the line, and he said something like, you know, like this is your shit that your grandmother something.
Yeah.
Do you remember that line? I forget what the line was.
I have to hear it again.
But he was making a joke about like the old heads and the lyrical, spiritual miracle, whatever. But
Yeah.
but that song is that. I mean,
Totally.
it was over an Eminem beat already.
Yeah.
But that was a rapidy
I-
rap song.
I loved how
Like, he was making fun of himself for like
Yeah.
doing that, being like, we can do this shit. This is some shit that your grandma's
Yeah.
gonna like.
I love that X did that too, where he made like rapidy rap songs too. Because I like
X was
rapidy
an
rap.
amazing rapper.
I like
though.
rapidy rap.
X was a crazy rapper.
I love rap. I love rapidy
Yeah.
rap stuff.
I gotta look up that. I'll look up the lyric later. Anyways, whatever. But I
Right.
like that. But yeah, dude, same
Okay,
with like
yeah,
really
so-
good shit like Vice City and like Rare Part 2.
Yeah, right.
I mean, dude, that was crazy. Yeah.
But,
like Amy Winehouse.
yeah. Okay, what was that Jordan? Last thing, what did you ask me? My favorite artist, right? Or the artist who I like the most? Okay,
Writing with
I
the
answered.
most.
Making sure I actually answered
Yeah.
the question.
Yeah, you did.
You
I
did.
got it on
Juice.
my head.
You
Yeah,
did.
juice.
You did.
got it.
Juice.
Yeah.
Simple as juice.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I should have just said that. I was just juice. That's it.
Juice.
really, wait, really, Juice favorite artist?
Yeah.
No, I mean my favorite artist who I worked with.
That you
Oh,
worked
oh,
In
with.
general, I don't know if I can answer that question. Like,
okay.
That's a
That's a tough
different
one.
question.
That's a tough one.
It is.
yeah, I have a hard. It varies.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay,
Depends on your
let-
mood.
Let me preface it because I said this yesterday on TikTok Live, and I was like, literally, they were like favorite artist, and I was like, Swaco. Fuck everybody. I know.
I love Swaco. Yeah, I'm not mad at that at
I
all.
met you
I love
at-
Swaco
Swaco's
too.
incredible, bro.
I met you at Swaco's house. Like,
Yeah.
literally, like, you know Swaco. Like, everybody knows him. The
Yeah,
homies all know
yeah.
him. And I was like, I don't care. He's my favorite. But
Swaco
also-
is the best artist who is like a TikToker to come
Yeah.
off of TikTok, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
my heart. My
His
heart.
marketing
Yeah.
is genius.
I don't want to call him a TikToker because you
Yeah.
know he's such a genius artist.
Right.
But like,
I mean, I remember when he was
Essentially,
playing
you know.
like shows with like Nathan James.
Can I
and,
give
like,
a backstory on this though? Okay, something changed my life a year and a half ago. You know Taylor Juice,
Yep.
Exposure World.
Yep.
So Mason from this band called Metro Station, he's the lead singer. So he guest listed me and Sean Barrett because of our TikToks, whatever. Me and him and Johnny Gilbert did some TikToks, and he like whatever. And then we were backstage because of Mason, and then Taylor Juice started singing one of my songs, literally word for word. He was like, "Wait, you're the guy with green hair." And he started singing it, and then he went on stage in front of like 500 people singing his own song. But he was being silly about my song. He was like, "Wait, you're viral on TikTok." And then he introduced me to Mike, and I met Grant Kemp, who has me and him did a collab. It was like the most popular song I've ever dropped
Yep.
in my 8-year career. It's been the last 6 months. All because Taylor Juice was like real enough to be like,
Love
"Yo,
Taylor.
I heard you on TikTok, and I'm not
Taylor.
ashamed."
Yeah.
Also, I'm the lead singer of like this,
Yeah.
not you, but I will like sing your song.
Mhm.
Give credit where credit's due. That is the most like wholesome, like,
Yeah.
hey, I've seen you online, but also like I'm gonna give you credit
yeah,
that I've
Me and,
ever seen in my life.
Taylor's a great guy.
yeah.
though.
Me and
Like,
Taylor
he's-
made that "Dancing with the Demons" song with Swaco and Nathan.
Yeah,
together.
that
Yeah,
song. I love
know,
that
I know.
song.
Taylor Juice. That's why Exposure World TV. I'm like, yo,
First
whatever Taylor
Exposure
needs,
World. Let's
till
go.
the day I die, I'm like forever Taylor, because like I've never seen someone be that confident in themselves. Where like he literally was like singing the lyrics to my like TikTok song
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
to
crazy.
everyone who was like on the bill, and he was like, "Why aren't you performing tonight?" And I was like, "I don't know. I've been in LA for 2 weeks." And he was like, "All right, sick." And then he went and performed in front of like fucking 500 people.
That's crazy.
That was the night I met Mason Musso.
Yeah.
We just dropped a song. Cozy produced.
How
it
long
for-
ago was that?
That was definitely over a year ago.
Damn.
Nice. Been a while.
Anyways, so Taylor Mason, yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like he didn't give a shit. He was so
Swaco.
confident, like
But
he's doing so well. And then he was like, "Yeah, I know Swaco." And then later I saw him and Mike, who later was my roommate at Hyperpunk. You and John were like chilling with all
Yep,
of us.
yep.
You knew him before me. It was like we were just chilling at Hyperpunk. It was like, okay.
Oh yeah, so that's how you met Swaco.
No. Actually, no. I
Oh,
met
okay.
Swaco because I
That's
was
how you met
driving-
Mason.
That's how I
Gotcha.
met Mason. No, actually, no. Doesn't matter.
It's funny because I know Trace. I don't know Mason. So it's like I know the other side of the coin.
Dude,
on
we
Metro.
are the other side of the coin.
That's funny.
So I've heard, different things. Probably. Who knows?
Probably.
I wish.
Gotta wish him the best.
Yeah.
Dude, they're all doing their shit. It's like
Your computer's about to die.
Oh shit. Yeah, I think we gotta call it low key.
Okay, yeah. I gotta go to my friend's birthday too. So,
Yeah. Let's sign off. Well,
Okay.
Morgoth, thank you so much. I also didn't get to ask. I do have one last question, but is it a Lord of the Rings reference?
Good man. Yeah, Okay, yeah. So
People
but
don't know about Morgoth.
without getting like too
This is
long-winded
3
about
rings
it.
of power,
This is something
dog.
This is something I should talk about. I even have the One Ring sort of thing.
Oh, fire.
I love Middle Earth and like
Yeah.
Arda and like just the lore of Lord of the Rings.
Are you into about like fantasy books?
Yeah, I'm definitely like overall a fantasy dude for sure, but
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is my favorite personally.
Did
Just
you-
the Tolkien universe. So I got Morgoth. For people who don't know, is the essentially Satan in the
Yeah.
story
Yeah.
of it. But
He's
to put
pure
a
evil.
super simple, like I need to talk about this more. How I got my name was because of that. Because in the story of Lord of the Rings, the earth is created or the world is created through music, and Eru Ilúvatar, who is essentially God, sings, and the earth becomes something, and all his angels are like they're called the Ainur, and Morgoth is one of those, and he's the only other being who's able to create through music. So he starts singing his own music, and it's loud, dark, sad,
Damn.
and like so it creates all like the evil and stuff in the world, and like or not evil, but like sorrow, everything
Yeah,
like
the
that.
darkness.
Is through Morgoth's music,
Yeah.
and I just thought it was a really cool metaphor, and I just love Lord of the
Super
Rings
sick.
so much, and I could go
And he
such a
looks
deep down
fire.
level. Yeah, he's the
If
cool.
you
I
see
have it
the
tattooed on the back of
drawing-
my head.
The drawing.
Look
Let
at the
me
back
see
of my
this.
head.
Yeah.
There's Morgoth. There he is. There he is.
Yeah, I could
People
go.
don't know. People don't know
Yeah.
about Morgoth. People
So-
know about Sauron.
Yep.
They don't know about Morgoth. Come on.
The show they're about to know because the show
Yeah.
they've talked about it a few times.
Yep.
It was funny. I talked super quick story about this, but like every time I've ever talked to Megan from Kells,
Yeah.
is about Lord of the Rings. Like they're like you get your name for Lord of the Rings. Megan asked me, and then we like talked for like an hour and a half about it.
That's crazy.
But I love Lord of the Rings, and I could talk about that so long, and no
Yeah.
one would give a fuck. But like,
No, dude, I will listen to like the 2-3 hour long like lore videos on YouTube
Dude,
about
me
like
too.
Middle Earth.
Nerd of
and,
the
like,
Rings?
Galad. Yeah, Nerd,
Nerd
of the
of
Rings,
the
bro.
Rings.
I listen, bro, for real.
Nerd of the Rings,
For real,
bro.
dude.
Dude,
So-
it's because Lord of the Rings, like people don't understand that it is by far the most in-depth fantasy
It's
that
insane.
there is,
It's
and
insane.
it's the black what Black Sabbath is to metal. Lord of the Rings is to like world building.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
no
Yo.
world building before it.
He
A genius.
wrote languages. He wrote
Wrote
Elvish.
languages, and he
He made up
created
Elvish.
an entire. He made Elvish, Dwarvish,
Yeah.
Black speech.
Yeah.
And a Sindarin, which is the God
Yeah.
language, and
And
they're all
before-
fully functioning languages
Yes.
you can speak.
And before Tolkien, elves were like weird little gremlin creatures
For Christmas.
And he turned elves
Yeah.
into these like beautiful live forever
Yeah.
beings.
Dwarves too,
Yep.
like he.
Yeah.
You can't say enough about how and his son Christopher too. Like that's one of the cool things about Middle Earth is that Tolkien, where Tolkien left
Yeah.
off, Christopher like put together the Silmarillion and like made it make sense and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
So
true.
Christopher is like a genius too, who kind of
Yeah.
gets looked over, but it's like a family of a two
Yeah.
generation like best
Yeah.
storytellers, authors ever.
Yeah. Crazy.
And do you have to be making music is dope. We're like
Yeah.
geniuses in a certain way, but to
no,
create your own
writing a book
world,
is like no. We write 100 words.
Yeah.
we write 100 words every now and then about different.
play
random
some notes
shit.
in a scale that makes sense and put a
They're
little rhythm
writing,
behind it. Like
thousands and thousands of like it's insane, bro.
that was a really bad characterization of music, but true. You know what I mean? Like to come up with your own language and to create it's a different thing.
I mean,
Bro,
it
no,
makes
it's
sense
completely
to me,
different.
but-
Maybe
it's funny
Tolkien couldn't
because-
make up his own, but no. Lord of the Rings is so embedded in
Yeah.
music, and I think a lot of people don't know that either.
Yeah.
Like when you really get into the lore of it, like everything in that universe is created through music, which
Wow,
is like
I didn't know that.
nuts.
Yeah.
And it's one of the only times you pick that up is through like going through the Silmarillion and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That's crazy.
Anyway, not to bore people
Anyways,
too long, but
now I just
he
have
knows
to give,
I had to nerd out with you for a second about
I just
it.
need a yes no.
Yeah.
Just we won't go into it. Maybe we'll have a podcast 2.0 or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
But R.A. Salvatore, Legend of Drizzt Do'Urden, fantasy books. No.
Ooh, that's a good one. I haven't I listened to the audiobook of it like one time.
Okay.
I was like, falling asleep, so I got a
Those
gist of
are
it.
some of my like all-time
Pretty
favorites.
good. I need to dive into that more.
The Lies of Locke Lamora, Scott Lynch.
Oh, that's really good.
You would have you read that?
Mike,
You would love
I
that.
had a girlfriend who was like really into it,
You
and
would
she would tell me
love-
about it all
dude.
the time. Yeah.
I love The Lies of Locke Lamora is one of my all-time favorite
Mhm.
books too. But anyways, fantasy. You know, those are I like to
Yeah.
throw that out there. It's like Lord of the Rings, like yes,
Yep.
but I love to throw out like because everyone's got their favorites, right?
Totally. Yeah.
But I love
It's
to
like
throw out
Harry
the R.A.
Potter,
Salvatore and the Scott Lynch and see
Yeah.
see what I can fish for.
where it's like
you know?
usually people who are like, oh no, Harry Potter, Star Wars, blah,
Yeah.
which I love all those.
Yeah, they're great.
But
They're
Lord
great.
of the Rings like invented that.
So,
Yeah, yeah,
Game of Thrones. Yep, that's it. Sorry.
yeah.
The result
Did you read
is
Game of
that,
Thrones?
Yeah.
Me
we
too.
we got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Podcast
we
has
gotta
been
call it.
too
Kid
long.
computer's dying.
Yeah.
It's your friend's birthday.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna go to my friend's birthday. Peace,
And our
y'all.
friends are
Morgoth,
doing
thank
shit.
you so much for being on the podcast. I'm really stoked that I got to meet you for the first time. Jordan unplugged his microphone.
For the second time.
So
Bye.
anyways, Lost Boys podcast. See ya.
Bro. Dude, thank you so fucking much to both of you guys.